open is regulation. Back-to-back triples for Mono Vampire.
Only 7 remaining. He makes his move. Young forces it up and in!
CC hasn't made a shot before that.
Pretty good so far here in the first half.
Lie. Oh, everyone for the Black Bears finding the bottom of the net.
Leaky with a big steal. Leaky for three. That goes in. What a play.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome once again to ABL Basketball here on Singtels. We bring you a regular season game between the visiting Mono Vampire and the hometown Singapore Slingers from right here at the OCBC Arena in the Lion City of Singapore. We want to wish all of our viewers, wherever you are, a very happy Chinese New Year. Gong Si Bai Kai coming up in not too distant future. Well, both of these teams have been riding high as of late. We look at the memorabilia and the posters and everything else that goes with the Singapore Slingers here at the OCBC Arena. And of course, the Singapore Slingers fans, as they are, fashionably late. So we expect this place to be filling up not too distant future. In confirmation of our game, Singapore Slingers 3-4 going against Mono Vampire Club at 7-3. They are leading the league. Chuck Schreiner along with Scotty McKinnon. Scotty will be coming in a little bit later as we go down the pregame show for you. And first of all, I guess we need to talk about the league standings. Here they are right here. We talked about Mono Vampire. They did take a hit the other night in a very, very close loss. But still at the top of the scales, 7-3, followed by Taipei Fubon Braves at 9-5. That's a team that beat them 97-96, followed by San Miguel, Alab, Pilipinas, Kuala Lumpur, Formosa, Macau, Singapore 3-4. They've won 2 in a row, though. Macau Wolf Warriors, Hong Kong Eastern, and Saigon Heat at 2-5 at the bottom of the pack. So that is the standings as of now. Now, in the future, the Singapore Slingers, let's look at their next 5 games that they will be going up against as we look at the Slingers already warming up. Saigon Heat, that will be after Chinese New Year, or sometime in the middle of Chinese New Year on January 29th. That will be here at the OCBC Arena, followed by Hong Kong Eastern. That will be in the Wan Chai district in Hong Kong, followed by San Miguel, La Pilipinas. That will be a away game somewhere in the Philippines. Fubon Braves at OCBC Arena, and followed by the KL Dragons. That will be here on Valentine's Day, February the 14th. Those are the next 5 games for the Slingers on the other side of the ball. How about the Mono Vampire? There they are right there, warming up. Their next 5 games will be Alab, Pilipinas. Again, that will be in the Philippines somewhere. And then back-to-back games. Next game on the 30th of January will be in Bangkok, followed by Saigon Heat, also in Bangkok. In fact, those last 4 games, a prolonged homestand for Mono Vampires. They'll be playing Macau and the Macau Black Bears as well. So the nice, easy comforts of home after this game for Mono Vampire. As we look at the last game that these 2 teams played, and the Slingers a couple of nights ago in Macau. Wow, they pulled one out of the hat, trailing by as many as 19. They come back to win it in the 4th quarter, 96-95. Shooting 45% from the floor to 55% for Singapore. They really came alive in that critical last quarter. The other side of the ball, the Mono Vampire, we said they went down 98-97 to the Fubon Braves. That was a game that anybody could have. Also a nail biter going down right to the end of the game. And the flush there by number 22 from the Mono Vampire team, Mike Morrison. So clash the centers today, Anthony McLean and Michael Morrison. We just talked about them, almost identical statistics. What a battle that will be down on the low blocks. Of course, McLean leading the league in block for 3.4. Morgan Marvel, Moses Morgan, a Thai American. He set the world on fire the last game against Fubon. There he is, 3 of his 21 points from the corner there. He can do it from everywhere. He's post up, outside, or he can take it in the open court, following up a little miss of his own, a little floater in the lane for two. There he is with a loose ball, getting the fast break going. Off to him on that right-hand side. There he is cleaning it up. Moses Morgan, 21 points that last game. MVP tandem, Singapore Slingers, Xavier Alexander, MVP last year. Marcus Elliott, the MVP 2 or 3 years ago. Check that out. They combined for 52 points and 13 rebounds, 16 assists in that win, that very, very narrow win in the last game they played. Gunslinger Leon Kwek finally living up to expectations. Remember, he took a couple years off. Here he is back using the length of those really long arms. Very good shooter from outside. That's what they expect him to do. He was 3 of 5 in that last game from downtown. Leon Kwek can also play some very, very tough D. Also, here he is from the left side. So just about anywhere from beyond the arc, he is a threat. 15 points in that last game, that win on the road. Coach Neo Ben Siang, he's been with the Singapore Slingers for the duration, all 10 years. And what a record he has, 3 trips to the final. No cigar, though, and he has made the finals the last 5 years. A veteran coach for the Mono Vampire, Andrzej Jurlip. He has 5 championships in Poland, strangely enough, with 5 different teams. He's also coached in Lithuania, was a player of his own back in the 1980s. So a couple of very accomplished coaches going at it today in this matchup. So there are the teams warming up right there as we get ready for the start of this game. And we have some, I guess we got some interviews going for you. And let's see what some of the players had to say before the game and about this game.
Definitely getting a lot tougher. The level of the plays, and you know the strength, what do I say? Probably like probably the teams, the players, everybody's improving. Yeah, so the league is definitely getting higher at a higher level right now.
Now that also has to be good news for the local guys, because obviously when you see the guys from the States that have NBA experience, that sort of rubs off on you. Seeing all these really good players coming in from the States and Europe, does that help the locals games as well?
Yeah, definitely. We are learning from them, watching them play, playing against them, trying to learn little stuff from them, and improve our game as well. So it definitely helps us.
We know that for us to win a championship, and that's our goal, is we're going to have to do it on the defensive end. So we know that we got guys that can score, but we also know that we got to play defense as a team as well. So that's kind of our main goal, is to go in each and every game and just give the 100% effort on defense.
Now, talk about defense. Singapore, obviously, they're known as a defensive team. They're number 1 in the league. Y'all are number 2. Something's got to give. What's your plans going in to play Singapore?
Oh, man, it's always tough when you come in and play Singapore. I mean, they always do a good job of making you work for everything that you get. So our goal is just to try to push the pace and try to get out and fast break as much as possible, and that way we can not have to play against their half-court defense as much, but try to get it into a running game, which we excel at.
Okay, so Michael Singletary of Mono Vampire. Lavin Raj, the new guy in town, so to speak, for the Singapore Slingers, trying to take some minutes. Russell Lowe forfeited by not coming back to the team this year. And here is the introduction of the Mono Vampire teams. And Scotty, this is a team that excels in the open court.
Yeah, and I think Michael Singletary said it perfectly. Singapore, to be successful in this game, they have to slow it down. For Mono Vampire to be successful, it needs to be a fast-paced game, and with all of the weapons that they have at multiple positions, them playing more possessions, more shots is a very good thing going forward for the Mono Vampire Basketball Club.
They can field 5 Americans or 5 quasi-Americans, a couple Thai Americans, Tyler Lamb, Michael Singletary, Preston Knowles, Mike Morrison, just goes on and on. Moses Morgan, and don't forget the clutch shooting of Chatchai and Nante, the high scorer amongst all the Thais. So they go 6 or 7 deep, Scotty, and they don't really lose a lot when they take their guards off the court and put 2 fresh guards in, and that might be a problem for Singapore energy-wise.
Yeah, and everyone from their positions can shoot the basketball, and that's really tough. Like you said, when you have Singletary, you have Freddie Lish, you have Moses Morgan, you have Tyler Lamb, the contending local MVP coming off the bench. What a difficult squad this is to match up with. But now you're playing against the best defensive team traditionally in the ABL and the Singapore Slingers. So what a great offensive defensive matchup here tonight.
And talk about the Singapore Slingers there. They are being introduced right there. And what a job they've done the last couple of games, coming in here and just destroying Alab Pilipinas. Last week they won by 26 points. It wasn't even that close. And then going on the road against a tough Macau Black Bears team, down by 19 points midway through the third quarter, coming all the way back to steal a win on the road by 1 point, 96-95. So A little bit of momentum going the Slingers' way after that rough 1-4 start. They now stay at 3-4, and their play is being introduced right now. The new look cheerleaders, full of pep, as you can see, and the crowd that is starting to fill up here at the OCBC Arena. And there is one of the straws that stirs the drink. Marcus Elliott, MVP in 2017. He scored 26 points last game against Alab, Pilipinas. He was on fire, 21. Leon Kwek, we talked about him, the sharpshooter, especially from beyond the arc. Singapore is a lot better off when he can nail that shot from outside. Xavier Alexander, what can you say about him? Most valuable player in the 2018-19 season. Coming on with a flourish, Anthony McLean. What a stud. He's been down low on the blocks, averaging 17.5 and 12 points, 3 rebounds. Not as mobile, perhaps, as a lot of the centers in the league, but what power he has. Delvin Go gives Singapore that 4-5 in-out sort of balance at the big position. He can rotate down on the low block and also help on defensive. Well, probably the best big man local-wise in the game. So just about to happen here at the OCBC Arena again. Chuck Shrine and Scotty McKinnon, so glad you can spend part of your Sunday for us. Singapore in the traditional red and white, and the black jerseys and shorts for Mono Vampire, who again stay in first place. Scotty, 7-3 record. Singapore 3-4. And we talked about what Mono Vampire likes to do. What will Singapore have to do if they want to get out of here with a win?
Well, everything for Singapore Slingers starts in the defensive end. And the amount of points they score, the amount of points they give up, 80.2 per game, is always in the top 3. They need this game to be slow, and they need to be able to run in transition, but on their terms. They don't want a fast-paced game. They want to be able to steal the basketball, transition, slow down Mono Vampire. Steal the basketball, transition, slow down Mono Vampire. And if the Slingers can keep this in the high 70s to low 80s, they're going to have a very good chance to win this basketball game.
Easier said than done. We know Mono Vampire averaging 91.8 points a game. That's good enough for second in the league. Singapore averaging 81. That's only 9th in the league. Now rebounding, slight advantage, ever so slight. The Singapore Slingers averaging almost 45 a game, 44.9 compared to 43.9. So the first and third best rebounding team in the league. Assists off the charts for Mono. They are 21.4. They limit their opponents to 82.8 points per game. They shoot 46.5%. They shoot three-pointers at 35.8. They lead the league in steals at 10.7. And wherever you look statistically, Scotty, Mono Vampire up there amongst the leaders.
Yeah, and then that's their advantage. They're balanced. They're great offensively. They're great defensively. They do it on both ends of the floor. If you look right now here, the starting 5, like you said, a little bit of a different start today, and maybe they're making that transition because of the pressure and because of the role that Singapore's been on so far with those 2 wins in a row. Yeah,
they did go out and pick up Preston Knowles, 30-year-old, 6'1", 195 pounds, 10.6. We look at the starting lineup for the Slingers. Nothing changing there. Kwek, Elliott, McLean, Go, and Alexander. They're a little bit thin on the bench, but they have been getting the defense off the bench and the points when they need it, and that's all you can ask for. So probably if you're on paper, if you were to balance it out, Mono might have a little bit better bench, but they both are loaded, both these teams. It ought to be a very, very exciting game, and that's exactly what we expect to see. So game just about a couple of minutes away from starting. And as we look at the keys to the game for the Mono Vampire team, they want to limit Alexander and Elliott. They want to play with a lot of pace, and they want to guard the paint. That's where they feel that they do have a little bit of advantage, especially with the two-headed monster, so to speak, of McLean and Delvin Go. They want to dominate down there when they can, and of course, keep Mono Vampire off of the court as far as fast break. So we look at the strategy for the Mono Vampire, or check that for the Singapore Slingers. We said defending the shooters, slow down Mono, and trust your MVPs, and of course you would. So nobody in the league has the pedigree that the Singapore Slingers have as far as out there in the backcourt. You take together Elliott and Xavier Alexander, Scotty, and I don't know of a better 1-2 combination, at least from the perimeter or slashing type of guards / small forwards that have it as good as Singapore Slingers as far as personnel.
Yeah, and Marcus Elliott has really been shooting the ball well the last few games. Now he's 36% from the 3, averaging 18.7 points per game, 9.7 rebounds, 4.1 assists. He has really stepped up these last few games, and that's just his aggressiveness to look to attack. And Marcus Elliott stands still shooting off of a kick, off of penetration into the paint. There's not many better shooters in the league statistically from a career point than Marcus Elliott.
Naratut Bonsin, the surprise starter for Thailand, the 24-year-old, 6'1", 175 pounds. And jumping up will be Morrison and McLean. So the referees are ready. I hope you're ready at home. This ought to be a good one. Fans are certainly ready here at the OCBC Arena and still coming in here, so let's do it. 3 and 4 Slingers going against the 7 and 3 Mono Vampire in the backcourt, controlled by Singapore. Partially tipped into the hands of the guy that you want to have the ball in the first play, is that Xavier Alexander, yo-yoing down that right-hand side. Up pops Elliott, throwing the screen. He'll cut back down. Out steps Delvin Go. Queck around one screen, that high ball screen. 6 on the shot clock. Alexander trying to make something happen. A little spin move. Nice job on the fadeaway, but off the mark. Rebound taken by number 15. That's Knowles. Knowles getting it off to Tyler Lamb. Morrison going straight after McLean and getting around him. Nice little jab step by Knowles.
Yeah, and Mike Morrison, it's only his third game of the year, replacing Ryan Watkins. They like him going to the rim. They like him in the paint, and what a nice little finish with his left hand there.
Queck, Alexander, again Go, throwing the screen. He will march back downstairs. Elliott out to the top. Go trying to make a move. Back outside, a little bit of an opening for Marcus Elliott. He does what he does.
There's that catch and shoot. Marcus Elliott off of the post. Nice little entry to Delvin Go, kick out. He's great when he sets his feet on balance like that.
Back outside it goes. Number 15, Preston Knowles. He is the point guard. Tyler Lamb in the game as well. Singletary will stay outside as they do the switch. Show and go by Narrative. Back outside again. Long three. If it goes in and out, right at the cusp of the 24-second violation, but no, they get the offensive rebound. So another cup of coffee from Mono Vampire. Lamb. Back-up jumper for 3 is going to be off the mark again, and another offensive board. Nice defense, but the follow is good. Good job by Tyler Lamb to stay with it.
Yeah, and
check that Singletary.
Yeah, what a matchup this is between Mike Singletary and Xavier Alexander. The 2019 MVP versus probably the odds-on favorite right now for the 2020 MVP, Mike Singletary.
Yeah, Tyler Lamb getting a hand in there. First team foul on Mono Vampire. So Singapore will take it out on the near side. Elliott to tap it in. Over to Alexander. On that high block is Delvin Gold. They'll be trying to deny him as much as possible. He does have a mismatch there. Let's see if he takes advantage of it. Little drop step to the hoop, and he's fouled.
A great decision by Delvin Gold. One of the things that has really helped the Singapore Slingers the last few games is their ability to defend and their ability to get to the foul line on the offensive end. They've shot a ton of foul shots the last few games, and Delvin Gold with a great recognition. He has a mouse in the house, attacks him, comes back to that left hand, and draws the foul.
Singapore shooting 68.2% from the line, as opposed to 72.1 from Mono Vampire. Never has been a forte of the Singapore Slingers for some reason. League average is right around 71.5, so slightly below that. Numbers on Delvin Go. He scored 4 points last game, but had 8 big rebounds and a clutch basket going down the stretch in that victory against Fubon. Let's check that Macau. So 4-3 Mono. Handling the ball, Preston Knowles. Over to Singletary on that left-hand side. He's followed by Alexander. McLean taken away out of his comfort zone, misses it, but he grabs on. So a foul, that will go on McLean, and again, beating McLean to the spot.
And you can tell that they're taking McLean away from the basket with Mike Morrison in this continuity offense. They're having him face up, and they're having him attack off the dribble. And he's got back to that left hand twice, once scoring a layup, and here getting back to the foul line.
See how long they go with that strategy before Singapore makes the adjustment. They will have to send Delvin Go over him. He's a little bit more mobile than McLean and leave McLean downstairs. But of course, that opens up some space for Mono Vampire should they do it. Missing them both. McLean steering the rebound back over to Alexander. And here come the Slingers down the right-hand side. Alexander to Queck. He slices down to that left-hand wing. Elliott rises and fires for 2. No good. Go there. Can't get the rebound. Back the other way. Singletary with his second board. Gets away from one defender. Hesitation move. Looking for somebody to get it to. Backup jumper is going to be way off the mark. Nice job by Singapore on the coverage.
Yeah, and it was the recovery. It was Anthony McLean stepping up to show for a second on Mike Singletary. Then he releases, and Xavier Alexander gets a contest. And that's the discipline that Singapore has on defense. That ability that every single shot is going to be contested.
It's a healthy man-to-man, and then sometimes they'll go off into a zone, keeping the other teams guessing. McLean with the high screen. Waltzes down to the low post again. Ball punched away, corralled again by Alexander. 7 on the shot clock. Double team, somebody's got to be open. Delvin Go with the ball. Jump step into the lane. Yes, Delvin Go.
Oh, and what a shot by Delvin Go to go through the contact there and put it up for the bank shot.
Circumstances forced him to put that a little bit harder than he wanted to, but his aim was true, straight off the glass, up and in. So 5-4 Singapore with the early lead.
And this isn't good. It looks like Tyler Lamb has taken a shot to the eye, and he's going to have a little run back into the locker room here. And this is not a good thing for Mono Vampire. Tyler Lamb is such a contributor off the bench. Again, probably the local MVP leading candidate right now in the ABL, and to have him sprint back in 2 minutes into this game to the locker room is not very great for Mono Vampire.
They do have Freddie Lish. Jump shot there is off the mark by Singletary. However, he gets it over to Narrative. Left side, quickly down to that left side. Good ball movement by Mono Vampire in amongst the trees. Wide open look from that right-hand side. Narrative for the shot from three. In and out. Delvin Go corrals it. Elliott. Alexander. Turns. Late whistle there. He could have... See if that'll go against Narrative, I believe. The foul. Narrative Bonsing. Again, the 24-year-old. So let's see if that'll put Alexander at the line for a pair. Third team foul on Mono Vampire. Singapore with one. No foul shot. Alexander, you have to get off yet. Well, you can see how aware they are of him. Screen. Alexander rises above. Oh, beautiful pass by Alexander. Can't finish it off, though, and a foul.
Really good up and under move by Xavier Alexander. He sees Delvin Go in the backdoor cut there, and that was a great uncontested layup. Unfortunately, wasn't converted by Delvin Go in the paint.
Yeah, Alexander has such great vision, as you were alluding to, Scotty, able to pick out Delvin Go out. McLean with the ball now. Leaning on him is Morrison, and a foul with the shoulder.
Sorry, Chuck, and again, 4 minutes in the game, that's already the fourth team foul for Mono Vampire. So one more and they're in the bonus. And you just see this is Singapore's ability to create contact and initiate contact and draw fouls. And you can see Coach Andre Erlip is already upset about this 4 minutes in the game.
Yeah. Oh, McLean was practicing that shot during the warm-ups, but a little bit off what that would do to his repertoire if he could start hitting that consistently. Number 77 in the game, Anante Chiche. Monte off the mark. Nice job there, sealing off the baseline. Out it comes again. Good job by Mono Vampire to get back inside again, dumping it to Delvin Go, looking for cutters. McLean right there all alone. They're daring him to shoot nearly. Back out to Alexander. There's a screen by McLean. He'll drift downstairs again. Off balance shot by Alexander. Corralled there by Morrison. Wide open look from three. All the time in the world, going to be way off the mark with that, though. Rebound taken by Elliott. Back comes Singapore. And again, Mono Vampire doing a great job of getting back on defense. Elliott, little hesitation move there. Back downstairs. Alexander looking inside. McLean and Go both on that right block. Oh, beautiful pass by Alexander. A little dump move there by McLean. Can't get it. Ball on the floor. Picks it up and is fouled on the way up.
Yeah, and that's going to go on Morrison there, and I believe that is his... Oh, that might be his second foul of the game if it is, and that could be trouble for...
yeah, that is two.
That's not good for Mono Vampire moving forward. Now you have Tyler Lamb in the locker room checking his eye. You have Mike Morrison picking up his second foul early here in the first quarter. So again, Singapore's ability to draw fouls has got them to the line, as well as has got Mono Vampire in foul trouble.
Yeah, and also what Singapore has been able to mission accomplished so far is to keep Mono Vampire out of the open court. They've only had one fast break attempt so far this year, so Singapore doing a great job on defense, as they normally do. As you said, Scotty, mission accomplished. If you can keep a high-scoring team like Mono Vampire in the 60s, 70s, 80s, you've got a decent chance of winning this ball game.
Yeah, and it's amazing because of the talent that Mono Vampire has. You talk about Michael Singletary, played at Texas Tech under Bobby Knight for a year, as well as his son Pat Knight. This guy's resume is insane. TBL MVP, TBLS MVP in 2018, TBL champion. He's played in Europe, he's played in the G League. And just so Singapore's discipline to keep every single shot that he's taken so far contested has kept him to only 2 points here in the first 5 minutes. Now, that's going to be a challenge for the rest of the game here moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, you look at all these guys, you know, Preston Knowles played at Louisville from 2007 to 11, played in Italy, played in the G League, Greece, Cyprus, Israel, Croatia. So all these Mono Vampire guys, you know, maybe you don't see a lot of NBA experience, but my goodness, all around the world they have been successful. They've won championships, and here they are on the same team. So, you know, as Singletary said in the interview before the game, this is the best Mono Vampire team he's ever seen.
Yeah, it's kind of championship or bust for them this year. And one guy we haven't even seen on the court that you've mentioned multiple times is Frederick Lish, right?
Yeah.
He's a two-time All-American at Motlow State Community College, at junior college, as well as talk about lineage or genetics. His father was a two-time All-American at Hawaii Pacific. So the amount of talent that they have on this team is extraordinary. And for Singapore to keep them to 5 points in the first 5 minutes of the game, it speaks to the kind of discipline and quality that defensively that Singapore is.
The dedication to defense and buying into the system, every single man, all of the time. McLean, right around a 65% free throw shooter, doesn't miss with that one. So Singapore, biggest lead of the game for them at 2. 4:52 to go here in the first quarter.
If you look down at Mono's bench, Coach Andre Erlep, you will not see a more passionate coach. It's actually kind of fun to watch him and his antics throughout the game, because you're not going to find anyone more passionate in this league as a coach and extroverted as well.
Morrison stays in the game. Good ball movement, long shot outside is good. Singletary filling it up.
Right on cue, hey? Mike Singletary, set shot from 3, nothing but net.
Go, Alexander. Queck lurking on that left-hand side gets the ball. Looking for separation. McLean applies the screen. Nothing doing there. Go, right-hand dribble inside, leaning back, firing up. McLean with the rebound. No foul, still McLean. Nice job on the interior by Mono Vampire. So Knowles, stop and pop for 2.
Last 2 possessions, they put Mike Singletary and Preston Knowles in a ball screen with the big that Anthony McLean is guarding. So looking to try and get him away from the rim.
Delvin Go, not much of an impact on the inside yet. Alexander. Oh, on the reverse, beautiful job. Nice job of obstruction by McLean too on the way.
Yeah, and what patience by Xavier Alexander to go around the big, take his time, nice little reverse layup with English.
Great acceleration. McLean having to come out and changing the shot. Nice job. Preston Knowles hits the deck. Delvin Go and turns the ball over. Yeah, good call by the referee. You could sort of see him not really in control of the ball. He was looking at the basket. Just doesn't really have, you know, the dribbling skills yet to take it that far by himself.
Yeah, and as soon as that hand comes underneath the basketball like that, they're going to call that. And unlucky, it was a great transition, great challenge by McLean at the rim. Singapore's out and running, and unfortunate turnover because they had a chance to get an automatic attack there.
Knowles barking signals. Elliott on him. Oh boy, somebody missed the assignment. Alexander coming over there to pick up the slack, and luckily for them, Singletary misses. Elliott now, screened by Alexander as he floods through. McLean, a little bit late getting downstairs. Delvin Go at the top. McLean with the ball now. He's got a mismatch to see if he takes care of that. Turning the corner, punches it up again and can't get it to go. Here they go, Mono Vampire in the open court. Singletary flooding between 2 defenders, up and in off the finger roll, can't get it to fall. Punch out McLean with it. Back comes Singapore. Elliott has go ahead of him. Elliott left hand takes the ball all the way to the rack and foul. He'll go the line for 2.
And great recognition by Marcus Elliott to realize that Mike Morris is out of the game with 2 fouls. The last 2 possessions, everything has been in the paint. Everything is challenged at the rim. And Marcus Elliott back to the foul line.
Checking into the game now for Mono Vampire, Tarawat Chanthanchan, 24 years old, 6'2", 220 pounds, averaging 2 points a game, 2 rebounds.
Here comes that spark plug, Frederick Lish, into the game. And this guy is bouncy and as athletic as they get. And so look for him to be a scorer off the bench, looking to shoot the 3 as well as attack and get into the paint and get some penetration kicks.
A lot of stoppages in this game because the fouls mostly on the Singapore end.
Yeah, and this is the kind of game that Singapore wants, Chuck. It's a 9-9 game here with 2:37 left in the first quarter. Mono Vampires already had 16 fouls, and that's a reflection of Singapore attacking the paint and being aggressive to the rim.
Now Urlip keeps drawing the attention of the officials, so they finally go over and talk to him about it. So a little bit of frustration. Mr. Urlip already early in the game. Elliott 2 for 2, and Singapore noses ahead, breaking into double figures with 2:37 to go here in this first quarter. Left side, flooding downstairs. Freddie Lish. Nice job by Singapore on the coverage. Check that Singletary with a long bomb is no good. Oh boy, ball out of bounds and off of Go and off of number 22, Kelvin Lim. So making a hash out of that. That was an easy rebound and a nice stop it looked like for Singapore. So Mono Vampire will get second lease of life here.
Yeah, and unfortunate for the Slingers, they did a great job of making contact, sealing, having that box out. It was a defensive rebound secure, and they just couldn't catch the balls.
Inbound pass on the little finger roll to the basket, so that's what it costs. Mono Vampire edges out in front again, 11-10. Alexander against Tyler Lamb, who's checked back into the game. Delvin Go. McLean fighting for position. He's double teamed downstairs. Somebody falls down, taking advantage of it, up and in. See, is there a whistle? If there is.
Super sub Calvin Lim with the and one coming off of the flex screen. Calvin Lim, great body control to take the contact from Chantathon and then finishing up top around the rim.
A great recognition by him. He saw the Mono Vampire player go down. He took it in a straight route to the basket. Put it off the glass, took the contact, as you say, and went down. And chance for 3-point play here as we look at it again. Here's how it started, innocently enough. Downstairs it goes, there's Lim, and there you see the body hit the ground. Weak side help, a little bit too aggressive.
And Chuck, you've compared Calvin Lim a little bit to Russell Lowe this year, but that super sub coming off the bench, bringing in energy, bringing enthusiasm, and kind of changing the pace of the game. And obviously they're not the same player, they're not the same size, but every single time he stepped in the series, he's made a contribution, a positive contribution to the team, especially in limited minutes.
See where the ball goes to. Alexander can't believe it's going the way of Mono Vampire. Deemed that he touches it last. So 12-11 with a minute 43 to go here in the first quarter. Lish, still Lish. He can go both directions. Lamb fires up a long three way off the mark, but fortuitously right into the path.
Good to see Tyler Lamb back in the game. So obviously went back to the locker room, got his eye checked. He's back in the game, feeling well, and it's nice to see someone of his quality back on the court.
Heads up play there by Chiche Ananti. Leading scorer on the tie, and going to the bench is McLean. So Singapore will go small on this possession. Holding on there, that will go against Kelvin Lim, I believe, grabbing onto the wrist.
Yeah. Sorry, Chuck, Chantathon with two great takes back-to-back. He's a big body, 6'3", about 220 pounds, a Thai national player as well, and he's been very, very good for them coming off the bench here, and Mike Morrison's absent because of those two fouls.
Yeah, leading scorer in the recent SEA games for Thailand. Was shut down by the Philippines national team, however. Weak side help, oh boy, somebody got away again in a foul.
And there's Chantathon.
That will go on Kelvin again.
Yeah, and there's Chantathon going to the rim on the ball screen. He sees his man go and help, and all of a sudden he just floats straight to the front of the rim there, catches it, and has an opportunity to shoot two foul shots.
Yeah, Kelvin Lim getting wrong-footed several different occasions on defense by Mono Vampire. Got turned inside out that time, and again, grabbed on. For an inexperienced player, that's what you would expect. The old adage, play defense with your feet, not your hands, and Kelvin gets victimized there.
Yeah, very well said, Chuck. And Chantathon, 3 points here, an opportunity for 4 in his first 2 minutes. A great little start to the game for him.
Tipped away, Kelvin Lim, corralling the rebound. Elliott quickly downstairs. Kelvin Lim with it again, but spends too much time dribbling. Did not go straight to the spot, but great job to kick it back out. Quick for three, off the mark. Loose ball on the floor, corralled by Lish now has it. Lish, one man to beat, takes the ball to the rack, gets it to go. Nice job, obtuse angle. Good job by Freddie Lish.
Yeah, that's that athleticism. Freddie Lish, little Mighty Mouse crossover, takes the contact, and nice little English on the backboard to put it in there.
Elliott, Lim, Queck. Other side this time. Elliott looking for space, draws a crowd, turn around. Wide open shot for Alexander from Threeville. Way off the mark on that one. Singapore not being able to hit a three in the first quarter. Lish, the little dynamo with it again, draws Quet. 17 seconds to go. So the shot clock is off. Still Lesh off the dribble again. Backup jumper, no. Gives it to Tyler Lamb from way downtown, no good. Another offensive board for Bangkok, off the mark again, and that will do it. So a very low scoring first quarter, 14-12. Mono Vampire edges out in front, but Singapore, I guess you'd have to say, Scotty, job well done on the defensive end. They would not be too disappointed with this quarter, the way it developed.
No, if you're talking about pace of the game right now, this is Singapore's pace or style of play right now. Low scoring game, only 14 points for the highest scoring team in the league at 91.2 per game. It's a really good job defensively by Singapore. Unfortunately, on the offensive end, they haven't been able to contribute. They haven't been able to take advantage that Mike Morrison has 2 fouls, and they haven't been able to convert either on their foul shots or around the rim so far. So an advantage to Singapore's pace, but if you're Mono Vampire and you're thinking about the law of averages or numbers, eventually they're going to start to make some of those shots, you would think.
Okay, we'll step back, pay some bills, and be right back for second quarter action in a moment. Back, ladies and gentlemen, 14-12, if you can believe that, at the end of one stanza here at the OCBC Arena. Mono Vampire with a slight lead. And Scotty, what do you have for us as far as stats?
Well, if you talk about fast breaks points right now, Singapore's up 2-0 at the end of the first quarter. So obviously the pace is their pace right now. It's not in transition, it's slow, and this is good for the Singapore Slingers from a defensive perspective.
Off the dribble, Singletary, determined, has it knocked away by McLean. Out of bounds it goes, and the league leader in block shots gets his first one here. That's the first part of the second quarter, Anthony McLean.
Yeah, and Anthony Biggie McLean, his timing and his length, he always gets the ball at the apex of that height, comes from the weak side. He just has impeccable timing for block shots, and his length, if you look at his arms, his wingspan must be at least 7'3", 7'4", and so it's deceiving when guys go up against him.
He doesn't get off the floor that well, but he does have that timing thing going for him, and he does have that length, as you said, Scotty. Off the dribble. Lish again. Almost throws it away. Nicely corralled there by Tyler Lamb. Elliott accepts the screen. Nice little show and go move by Lamb. Can't get it to fall. Outlet pass by McLean. Elliott looking for space. Alexander down in front of him. McLean all the way out on top now. Working down at the bottom is Queck. He will circle back upstairs again. McLean goes back down to the low post fighting. Right into McLean. McLean rises and fires.
What a great pass by Leon Queck there. Nice touch to throw it to the top of the rim for Anthony McLean to catch and fundamentally put it into the rim there without dropping the basketball.
Singapore doing a great job of getting back on defense very quickly, not resting on their laurels after the basket. Lamb around the screen. Alexander. And out of bounds it goes. It'll be Singapore ball. Good defense there by Alexander.
Yeah, and if you look at Mono Vampire right now, struggling to shoot the basketball, 6 of 21 from the field for 25%, including 1 of 9 from 3 for 11. So this is not your typical Mono Vampire squad right now, and you can contribute that to Singapore's defense so far this game.
They have been coached very well. Obviously watched a lot of video. Pass inside. Oh, boy. You got to make those if you're Anthony McLean. You get behind your defender. Great pass by Queck, and you can't finish it off. Stop and pop from Freesville, and that's what you would expect to happen. So Singapore punished.
Yeah, and Moses Morgan, 6'6", can step in to shoot a 3 right there, and that speaks to the depth of Mono Vampire and the kind of quality that they have coming off their bench.
Elliott Crunching screen there by McLean. Elliott stops and pops. Tuesville no good. Right in the hands of McLean. McLean is fouled. And that'll go on number 77, Jitapon Tanaraj, 28 years of age, 6'3", 176 pounds. He averages 2.7 points a game in a role-playing sort of position. He's a small forward, guard.
And really good pursuit of the basketball there by Anthony McLean on the offensive board. Catched it, went straight back up to the rim, drew the foul. Now he's at the line for two. And Chuck, so far we've talked a lot about Singapore's defense. We haven't said much about Mono Vampire's defense.
Correct.
How fantastic are they defensively? And this is what keeps them in the game. They're so good offensively, but they match that with their defense. And to hold Singapore to 14 points so far into the second quarter is a credit to what Coach Alab has done there, and from a defensive as well as an offensive perspective.
Yeah, they knew that they were going to score, 95, 105 points against Singapore coming in here, especially at the OCBC arena. So they had to strategize their defense as well, as McLean misses both. Back comes Mono Vampire. Lish sparking out signals down that left-hand side. Jun in the game now on him. For defensive purposes. Ooh, boy, flashing through, getting some space, staying with it, can't get it to fall. Another offensive rebound, finally getting it to drop.
Tyler Lamb doing a great job to get himself up there. Offensive rebound, nice little puck back, and maybe that'll turn him to get some shots from the outside now.
And they miss there. Oohs and ahs by the crowd. They wanted that one. Yun. Boy, getting fouled all over the place. Oh, there, the pick and roll. Can't get the fall. The tip back in again. No good. Alexander. Check that. McLean with it. Off to Alexander. Singapore in the open court now, and he is fouled. Going straight at him is Alexander.
Yeah, and again, we say there's not many people in this league better than Xavier Alexander going downhill in transition. And just his ability to not only go in a direct line drive, but to change direction with that Euro step and initiate contact and finish through it is pretty elite level, and it's quite special.
Nothing easy, as you said quite rightly, Scotty, for the Singapore Slingers. Their Mono Vampire doing a great job of getting back on defense and transition that time, and also clogging up that middle. So really not a lot of spaces for Singapore in which to go, and doubling up on McLean when they need to, and helping out on Alexander the other time.
Yeah, and you speak to their offense because their offense is so flashy and it's so nice and it's so fluid. It's so nice to watch. And then the greatness to their team is their balance. You look at them defensively, they're fourth in points allowed as well as second in rebounding. So this team does it all.
Yeah. Lish and Yun battling it out. Back to Lish. Gets a step on Yun there. Nobody there to pick up the slack, and misses the shot. McLean right there. Wow. So opportunity there going by the wayside. Let's see if Singapore makes them pay for that. The two is good. 19-18.
And Marcus Elliott does a really good job to create separation with his shoulder and his hip there, and then get himself on balance before he shot the pull-up.
Long, hopeful pass, threading the needle downstairs. Back outside it goes. Tyler Lamb. Still Tyler Lamb, and taken away by Singapore. Jun in the open court. He's got Lish to beat. Still Jun. Off-balance shot is just off, in and out. So
almost an epic
Jun.
play by Jun Lim there.
Much improved player, Lish. Nice job by Morrison on the help with the screen. Acceleration. Morrison taking the ball off of his knees and is fouled on his way inside. He'll go the line for a pair.
And you're not going to find a much more exciting start to this game, and strategic moves by both coaches so far, changing stuff up. Obviously, Coach Alab has realized that having Mike Morrison in a ball screen going to the rim is successful, and they've ran that in continuous times. And now guys like Moses Morgan are making decisions where they either attack or they drop down to Morrison finishing at the rim.
Morrison probably is a lot more mobile than Anthony McLean. So as you said before, Scotty, the objective maybe try to get McLean away from the basket and off the dribble beat him.
Yeah, and I don't think that they replaced Ryan Watkins because he was playing poorly. I think that Mono Vampire replaced him because it was a different skill set. Yeah. And they have so much shooting from the outside. They needed someone to go to the rim, and obviously Mike Morrison, the George Mason alum, is doing this.
And Morrison missing both, much to the delight of the crowd here. So McLean and Morrison both on the snide. The last time at the free throw. Up pops Elliott, looking downstairs. McLean being doubled up. Alexander still not able to get off yet. Jun thought about it. Nice recognition there by Jun. He can't make the layup. My goodness. lid on the basket, and Singapore pays the price there on the lead pass to Ananti, who finishes it up.
Yeah, no safety for Singapore. Ananti releases, and a nice athletic finish for him at the rim there.
With some great interior passing by the locals from Singapore, but just not obliging and finishing up the shots like they're supposed to. Elliott off the dribble, left hand, separation there for two, no good, 1 and out. And on their horse now, Singletary turns around, coughs the ball up. Nice job on defense. Jun still. He'll wait for numbers this time. Bounce pass inside to Alexander. Great control in the air, and he's fouled.
And again, that's Xavier's ability in basketball IQ to create the contact. He saw that Moses Morgan was not directly in front of him. He had the lane to the rim, leaned in, created all the contact, and now the foul's on Moses Morgan. Xavier's going to go back to the line.
Yeah, Morgan's still on the floor. Let's hope he didn't crack his head on the floor. He's holding the back of his head. Let's watch it again. Watch the spill that he takes. Great pass there by Lim. Down he goes, Moses Morgan. So, to wait and see.
And you said it, Chuck, on both ends. Great interior and exterior passing right now, and not a lot of finishing. Not a lot of finishing inside in the paint for either team, and not a great percentage outside from the three. So look to see those shots start to fall as the teams get a little bit more into this game and get into a little bit more of a rhythm.
This game is developing. If it stays like this, you start waiting for which team is going to wear down Scotty, because the intensity on the defensive end for both these teams is just incredible so far.
That's a great point, Chuck. And that intensity leads to physicality. And you can see guys are starting to breathe a little bit heavier. They're starting to have their hands on their shorts. And like you said, it's who's more conditioned and who's used to this style of play.
Remember, Singapore had that month off. The SEA Games really interrupting the preparation for their season, and they've only played 7 games. Singapore gets to within 1 now. Mono Vampire on the other side of the ball has played 10 games, so you would think perhaps Singapore would be a little bit worse to the wear if it gets down to a battle of fitness, but can't measure hard either. Bounce pass on that left-hand side. Kwek doing a good job of staying in front of his defender. Backup jumper is no good. Nice job by Kwek. Rebound taken by Alexander, and he's fouled.
Very intelligent basketball play, like you said there, by Leon Kwek to get his long arms in from underneath, slap the ball up in there, and allow Xavier to secure it with 2 hands.
Moses Morgan with his second foul. And a timeout is being called. You can see the worried look of Andre Urlip as his players. He's saying foul trouble though, Scotty, but Moses Morgan with a couple fouls, and you've got Singletary, check that. Morrison with a couple fouls. A couple guys really not effective when they're in there. So still looking for the right combination to counter this very, very tenacious Singapore attack and defense. Right now, you can't put a dime between both these teams. They're playing even Steven.
Yeah, and like you said, Chuck, the beauty of having that depth for Mono Vampire is they can input anyone at any time. The challenge is for Coach Andre Urlip is to find minutes to get guys into rhythms. A lot of these guys have been elite level players their whole life. They've been the best players on their teams, and so they're used to a lot of minutes to be able to get their shots up, get their reps up, and get into that flow of the basketball game. So that's the challenge for a guy with depth. Whereas Singapore, because they don't play as many guys get into a rhythm and they know the kind of minutes that they're going to get every single day. And so it's a different challenge for both coaches, and you can see both of them are doing this very successfully so far this year.
Yeah, Singapore going small. You notice that they've taken Delvin Go out of the game for a few minutes now, and they're going with some of their younger guys like Jun, and they went with Lim for a little while because they're getting the thing done on the defensive end, and they're, as you said before, Scotty, threading those beautiful passes. They haven't been finished properly every time, but they're right there, and they've got a nose for the ball, and they know who the recipients are. A couple of times hitting Xavier Alexander as he makes cuts to the basket, going over the top and hitting Anthony McLean, just hoping that one of these days they're going to start putting some combinations together and then maybe get some separation in this game. So here we are. Singapore to take it out on the near side. We got Leon Kwek. Alexander so far only, 6 points? Elliott. There's a screen by Go, who's just stepped back into the game. Boy, ball punched up into the air and taken away again. So that saved the day there. Jun did. Off to the races. Singletary takes the contact. Yes, and he will go to the line for a attempted 3-point play. So Singletary just lowering the shoulder there, knowing he's going to get hit on the way up and accepting it and keeping his balance.
Yeah, and his ability to attack from the outside as well as the inside is truly special. He shoots 41 from the 3, so he's always a threat there, so you have to get up in his airtime space, and then he's so strong to finish around the rim. This is an elite-level basketball player who was recruited to one of the top schools in the States and has played all over the world, and it was shown in that move right there.
4:30 to go here in the second quarter. Chuck Schreiner and Scotty McKinnon, so happy you could join us on your Sunday afternoon here. Lion City of Singapore. Alexander off the dribble, little jump step to the basket and a late whistle. And that's going to go on or is that Tyler Lamb? Number 7, that'll go against Singletary, so that'll be 2 on him.
Yeah, and that's the 5th foul again. So Singapore back in the bonus with over 4 minutes left here in the second quarter. And if you see this pace, you would think that Singapore's up right now, and they're actually down 4 points to Mono Vampire, and that just again speaks to the consistency on both teams on the defensive end.
Actually, the first foul on Singletary. So yeah, Singapore in the bonus once again. And to give Mono Vampire credit, Scotty, they aren't going to give up any easy baskets. Singapore, I mean, they'll go ahead and foul.
Oh yeah,
they're not going to give any easy baskets. They're going to make them earn it from the line.
And you got to love the competitiveness of both teams. They fight for every single 50-50 basketball.
Well, I don't know where that ball was going to, punched away, and let's see. It's going to be Singapore ball. For Singapore, ball was just punched out with no direction at all, so Singapore lucky that time. Erlip disagreeing with that. Alexander, Elliott, go. Jun making his cut inside, out pops Quek. Alexander behind the screen, thought about it. Elliott from the left side, can't get the separation. Dribble penetration, getting the ball inside to Alexander, who fires it up, no good. Rebound 1 and out. Nice job there on the inside by Chantachon. Boy, way over the head of the intended receiver there, so Singapore catch a break.
Yeah, and Mike Singletary made a really good read there. The weak side was sitting on the ball screen. This player was wide open, and the guy just didn't see the read that Singletary saw. Not that's it, speaks to his basketball IQ, and he might be one step ahead of his teammate there.
So timeout by Mono Vampire, and a very irate Coach Erlip. A little bit upset with his players for not executing. Same case to be made to Singapore. They've had their opportunities as well, and as we might expect, an even Steven game like that, 24-21 in favor of Mono Vampire. I'll tell you what, Scotty, you keep waiting for one of these teams if they can just get a couple of stops, and then the other team come back and get some separation, but it's just not happening. Both these teams are very steadfast on the defensive end.
Yeah, 24-21, like you said, with 3:44 left here in the second quarter. What a low-scoring basketball game. And so far, it's been a grind. No one has been able to put together 2 or 3 consistent possessions where they get good shots or good touches that they've converted. Few possessions in a row, they've got good shots, but no one is making from the 3 right now, and no one is finishing on the inside for other team consistently. So that's why it's so close, and that's why no team's been able to pull away so far.
Both these teams also very cognizant of the other team's skills in the open court, especially Singapore's realization that you cannot let Mono Vampire run up and down the court. If you do, it's a recipe for disaster. They have really victimized a lot of teams this year doing just that. They've watched their video. They know just what to do, and they've done a terrific job of getting back on defense. Mono Vampire, of course, the same with them. You know, they're no slouches either. We keep saying, well, Singapore's a defensive team. Well, Mono Vampire is the number 2 team in the league on defense as well. So Alexander. Elliott. Lin back in the game now on that right-hand side. Up pops Alexander to the left. Lin almost has his pocket pick there. Right-hand dribble. 7 on the shot clock. Alexander looking for something. Hesitation dribble there. Backup jumper is Elliott. Off the mark. Long outlet pass and a foul. And that will go on June. Let's see if they're going to make that a unsportsmanlike foul. Erlip thinks it should be. No indication that it will be.
Very savvy move there by Tyler Lamb. He contests on the long 3, sees that there's no safety, releases, and all of a sudden he has an opportunity to attack the rim there.
They're going to say the foul on number 13. Much to the chagrin of the Singapore audience, Lim Jun Yuan, the 22-year-old.
Yeah, and they're going to call that a straight line foul, or an intentional foul there.
Yeah. Well, I can sort of see that, but of course, Singapore will say he was going for the ball. I mean, the pass, I guess, Scotty, is what Singapore would contend is, wait a minute, this is a 50-50 ball.
Yeah, and I think that you said it right, Chuck. That's the argument right there from Coach Neo and Coach Jim, MJ at the moment. That's a 50-50 basketball. Both players have an opportunity to get it. There's no malice. There's no contact to the head, and so that's where they believe that that's not a flagrant or intentional foul.
So they lose out on that, much to the chagrin of the Singapore audience, and Vampire will be at the line for 2, and then they'll have possession, so a real chance for them to get that separation that we've been talking about, that all-important separation. If you're going to have a very close game, every point is golden.
Yeah, and the other scary thing for Singapore here is you have Tyler Lamb going to the line, and Tyler only has 2 points so far this game, and he averages 16.9 per game. He shoots 90% from the free throw lines, 36 from the 3, as well as 47 from the 2. So this is a player who can get it going quickly. And the last thing you want to do is send a shooter to the foul line to get his rhythm back and to get him back into the flow of the basketball game.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. They've got a couple guys that way, and what a job Singapore has done to neutralize the high scorers. Mike Morrison in particular, averaging 21 a game. He hasn't really been a factor this game. Singletary a little bit more so, but still looking for the right combinations. Both these teams, coaches, you see them filtering guys in and out of the game, just looking for that combination that they can maybe get a run going. It hasn't happened for these teams yet, but an opportunity now for Mono Vampire to do just that.
Oh, definitely. They're going to get some shots here. They're going to get the ball back, and so this is their opportunity with 3:17 left here in the second half to gain a little bit of separation that hasn't, like you said, has not been apparent for either team so far this game.
So the referee's still talking it over, Scotty. Maybe they've had second thoughts about awarding a flagrant foul.
And the cool thing right now here is you see Tyler Lamb and Marcus Elliott having a conversation. They obviously know each other well from that 2017 championship team here in the ABL for the Hong Kong Eastern Lions. Teammates, friends, you saw them greet each other at the beginning of the game. And that's a really cool thing is you see a lot of these locals and heritage imports and imports start to compete together and against each other and create these kind of bonds and friendships.
Okay, so now what are we doing?
I believe it's going to be reversed.
Yeah, they're going to reverse it, and it's going to be Mono Vampire ball on the side, so just a normal foul, so they eschew the decision to make it a flagrant foul.
And I thought that's the right call there.
I believe so.
No malice in the intent from Jin Lim. It was a 50-50 basketball, and I think you made a really good point there, Chuck.
So taking it out will be Knowles, checking back into the game. Lim will be given a stern talking to, but no flagrant for him, and he will remain in the game for his defense. Knowles slaps it, gets the ball over to Tyler Lamb. Picking him up is Go, back outside. Jump step, acrobatic move there by number 15, Preston Knowles, to finish it.
The crow hop by the Louisville Cardinal, Preston Knowles. What a finish.
Lost his man there for a second. Did Knowles. Alexander, left side. Jun. And a pushing and shoving match going on here. I think it's going to go the way of Bangkok, pushing off on number 22, Kelvin Lim. That will be 3 on him.
Yeah, and this is a very important defensive possession here for the Singapore Slingers. The lead has been no bigger than 5 for either team here, and we've talked about that lack of separation, and the last thing you want to do before going into half is to get down 7, 9, or 10 or more points.
Yeah, good point, Scotty. And skip pass back outside now to Knowles. Crunching screen there, but Jun none the worse for wear. Catch and pop by Tyler Lamb for 3, high off the glass. Alexander there. Ball loose, nice job by Delvin Go to ascertain what's going on. He'll pick it up, Alexander, left hand. Alexander downstairs, and Lim blows it. Can't handle the ball and back the other way. Here's the punishment. The tip, no good. This ball still loose, let's try it again. Delvin Go, still Go, takes the ball to the rack, yes!
Great job by Delvin Go there in the fast break. Takes it from one end to the other. Euro step, but finishes on the left side of the rim with his right hand. Tremendous move.
Off the dribble, that's going to be off the mark. Nice hustle move inside. Let's see the foul. There'll be no basket. And boy, rough and tumble stuff on the inside. Singletary was not going to be denied. Kelvin Lim's going to have to slow the game down in his head, Scotty, and let the game come to him. He's trying to go after him. He's very, just a little bit jumpy now. Every time he gets the ball, he's looking around and needs to just settle it down a little bit.
I think that the keenness to finish, right? He was thinking about making the shot before he caught the ball, and that's the cardinal fundamental flaw here if you want to move forward from that perspective. But the one thing I like about Tyler Lamb so far is obviously he's had a slow start to the game, getting poked in the eye, couldn't find that rhythm, but he's earned himself a couple trips to the line by releasing, by offensive rebound, and you can see he's starting to get much more aggressive. And for I believe, the leading MVP local candidate here in the ABL, it's a scary, scary proposition for the Singapore Slingers because this guy can play some basketball.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, he's cream of the crop, as they say. Thai American. Back outside, Lim. Alexander. Lim will skate inside on the same side as Elliott. Delvin Go pops back outside. Alexander for two.
Great hesitation, pull up by for Xavier for his 9th point. He looked Michael Singletary right in the eye there and put it over top of his head.
Knowles, Barkley signals. Here comes that screen. Knowles full of running. Back outside again. Show and go move. Back outside. Off balance shot. Loose ball corralled by Elliott again. Elliott streaking over to the middle. Go next to him. Still Elliott looking for a little bit of space, and there's a foul.
Yeah, and you can tell right now with the lack of either big, Mike Morrison or Anthony McLean in the game, a lot of this action is going towards the rim. And obviously both have been saddled with 2 fouls and are on the bench. And both teams are intelligent enough and both coaches are intelligent enough and the great strategy to attack the rim right now with no rim protection in there.
So Model Vampire and the penalty. Elliott will be at the line for a pair. Chance to get Singapore to within 1. Model Vampire had a chance there, just an inkling of a chance. They were up by 5 and they were at the free throw line and everything seemingly going their way momentarily there, Scotty, and Singapore got right back into the game, now down by 2.
Yeah, and that's that resiliency, Chuck, that you talked about at the beginning of the game. Down by 19th in the 4th, the Singapore Slingers never give up. They have that never say die attitude, and it all starts from them, from that grit and grind that they show on the defensive end.
A 1-point game once again. Knowles accepts the ball. Desmond in the game again. 10th year with the Slingers. There's that screen. Nice adjustment by Singapore, taking the ball to the rack. No good, out of bounds it goes. It'll be, again, fans hate this call. Fans hate this call, and I don't know. Coach Nyo off the bench. I couldn't tell. They're going to have to look at it again. One of the trail referees is going to the other referees saying, are you sure? And they're going to say Singapore ball.
But again, that's Chantathon, number 65, the Thai local, the national team leading scorer, like you said, from the SEA Games. He almost created another possession there just by his energy and enthusiasm there on the offensive boards. He's very active and bouncy today. Every time that ball goes off the rim, he's the first one to swim a box out and try and pursue it.
Yeah, both these teams relying on their local players, which is a very cool thing to see. And both teams, for the most part, these locals are coming through. Desmond, Elliott, Alexander on the right. Screen by Go. There's a space for 2, no good. Gang rebounding there. Singletary picks it up. Lish now in the game, left hand. Man, he's full of energy. Still Lish. Step back jumper from way beyond the arc is off the mark. Delvin Go corrals the rebound. Outlet to Elliott. Alexander ahead. Left side wide open. Look for 3. Yes!
Desmond, the 10-year vet, steps off the bench straight into a standstill 3. What a career he has had for the Singapore Slingers.
You can see it coming. The fans can sort of anticipate it too. He's still got that capability. Left side. Jump step inside. Off balance move. No good. Ball's popped in the air. Picked off by Singapore. And that will do it. Nice little comeback by Singapore. They trailed by 5. They now lead by 2. Fans giving them some love as they go in the locker room. That'll leave the first half. Singapore 30, Model Vampire 28. We'll be right back for the halftime show in a moment. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Highlights of the first half. Take a look at him, Mike Morrison. He was saddled with a couple fouls early, so we didn't get to see the best of him, but early on, getting a couple steps on McLean down low on several different occasions, taking him to the hole. 2 of his 6 points in the first half. Delvin Go, little jump step off the glass. Nice anticipation by him. Good control in the air. Delvin with 4 points in the first half. Outside look. Bang. Singletary puts it away. Downstairs again. Great recognition there by Lim as he sees there's a player on the floor. Takes the ball straight up to the cup. Off the glass for 2 points for him too. So 30-28. Not just a whole lot to choose from both these teams. We look at the halftime stats. 26-35 Singapore trailing in the rebound. That's a little bit of a shock. 9, in fact, the deficit. Assists 5 and 6, 9 to 30 from the floor, 11 to 45. 3-point shots, my goodness, 1 of 4, plays 2 of 12. Desmond O hitting that lone 3. The blocks, 1 apiece, a couple of steals, turnovers 4 and 4. And Scotty, you know, you look at second chance points, actually 9 to 1, big favorite for Mono Vampire. Bench points 10 to 5. We're used to seeing that stat if you're a Singapore Slingers fan. Points from turnovers 3 to 2, but really, if you look to tally the Scots stats, a very, very even stat board, and that translates into a 30-28 game, and that's exactly what we got.
Yeah, and very, very surprising from the Singapore Slingers perspective. They're losing the rebounding battle, like you said, 35 to 26, but they're winning in the fast break points. And if we would have said that at the beginning of the game, I would have said that Singapore winning 10-7 at halftime in fast break, then that's a fantastic defensive half for the Singapore Slingers to slow down the powerful and explosive Mono Vampire to only 3 points, or 3 difference between fast breaks is tremendously impressive.
Yeah. So hello everybody, we're on screen now. Scott McKinnon and Chuck Schreiner, and Scotty, we were just saying, as advertised, the Singapore Slingers and the Mono Vampires turned on all turbines, but we did expect a little bit more scoring. Remember, these teams 1 and 2 in defense in the league. Singapore number 1, Mono Vampire number 2, and that's playing out exactly the way it was drawn up. We thought maybe, well, you know, if Mono Vampire can get out in the open court, they're going to go to town. Singapore also not a bad open court sort of team. That hasn't happened. The points have been very, very difficult to come by.
Yeah, and 30-28 at half this is the Singapore Slingers kind of game. It's been a grind. There's been lots of stops and plays. There's been lots of fouls, a ton of foul shots right now. Singapore's ability to get to the line has kept them in so many games and gave them an opportunity to win this year. And 11 for 17 right now from the line. Mono Vampires only shot 9 foul shots, and so then that's an aggressiveness in that point that you made at the beginning about winning the paint. What team's going to win the paint? And so far, from a driving and a foul perspective, it's been the Singapore Slingers. Singapore
Slingers going straight downstairs, as you said, Scotty. But they've done it. Both these teams have done it with an assortment of different players. Yes, we know that the expats that's what they're paid for, to come in and make an impact on the game. But it's been the locals on both these teams that have really made an impact as well on both teams.
Yeah, and in number 65, Tirwa Chantathon has 10 minutes so far, 1 and 2 from the field, and he's provided a lot of energy, especially when Mike Morrison got in foul trouble with those 2 fouls. He's come in and he's really given them a great half to keep them in the basketball game, but also to give them Mike Morrison a little bit of rest so he didn't pick up that 3rd foul.
Jun and Desmond O came in and made key stops. Desmond O bearing the only 3 that the Singapore Slingers made in that first half. Marcus Elliott doing what he does, getting some space, and he is lethal when you give him space. He's proven it time and time and again, and he's getting better the last 3 games.
Yeah, and as soon as he gets his feet set, he's a lethal shooter, and that's been very evident in these last 3 games. He's found his rhythm. He's understanding the Singapore's offense now, and that change from Hong Kong must have been tough, and so you can see him really starting to flourish in this offense right now and having a lot of success because of that.
Now, the 2 guys that we've talked about but yet haven't really made that many contributions, and you hate to say not that many because their pedigree. Tyler Lamb, you mentioned, you know, once he gets uncorked, it's really hard to put the genie back in the bottle.
Yeah, and Tyler Lamb right now is 1 of 11, and obviously gets hit in the eye to start the game, and that's an adverse condition right to start for not be able to, that depth perception to be able to see the rim, and so he struggled through the first half. At the end, he got a couple buckets. You can see the thing that I liked about him is there's no quit in this guy. He wasn't a top 30 U.S. high school basketball player for nothing. He went to UCLA, went to Long Beach State, and he fought for 3 or 4 offensive rebounds just trying to get himself back into the flow, and that's a dangerous thing for a shooter or a scorer like Tyler Lamb, is when he starts to feel good and feel confident, he could put up 20 points in no time.
Morrison and McLean, obviously 2 guys that are key to this game also, but both of them have a couple of fouls. Discretion being the better part of the dollar. Both these coaches elected to put their big guys on the bench for a while, and that created a free-for-all downstairs. I mean, guys were running at the basket, attacking the basket, because there are no shot blockers there anymore.
Yeah, and you said it, Chuck, and that rebound battle is very interesting at the end, because without those 2 big guys to secure the ball, it was a free-for-all, like you said, and that made it a very, very physical basketball game. And physical is good for the Singapore Slingers, I believe. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say a lot of offensive boards went the way. You saw the rebound differential 9+ for the Mono Vampires. A lot of those were offensive boards.
Yeah, and you would think that it would go to the Slingers, right? When we think Singapore Slingers, we think defense, we think rebounding. And the impressive thing about Mono Vampires, not only do they have that scoring, not only do they have that ball movement, they have the ability to rebound and defend. And this has been evident today. They haven't shot the ball well, but they are in this basketball game, and they led for most of the majority of the first half just because of those 2 facts.
A lot of mistakes when they attacked the basket. A lot of layups missed as well.
Yeah, and that's just speaks to the physicality. This physicality of this first half so far, and both teams defending and their discipline.
30-28 at the end of the first half. We wouldn't have expected that, but that's the way it is, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go away. We've got an exciting, excruciating second half coming your way from here at the OCBC Arena. We'll see you in a little bit. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get ready to start the second half with the starters on the floor for the Singapore Slingers. Elliott, Quek, Alexander, McLean, and Go, the same five that started the game. There's Coach Nyo looking offensively in a 30-28 game in favor of the Singapore Slingers. It's been a dogfight, or as Scotty likes to say, a rock fight. And that's exactly what it's been. Coach Erlip still upset about something. I haven't seen the man smile, but anyway, Singapore in the white coming at you from left to right. Delvin Go over to Alexander. Quek on that right-hand side. He'll pop up a little bit. Alexander searching on that left side for separation. Rises, fires for two, and got it. Singapore with their largest lead of the game, Scotty, by 4.
Yeah, and that's the aggression you want to see from Xavier Alexander. Comes in for his 11th point of the game. Nice little step-back jumper shot over top of the local there.
Lish stays in the game. Still Lish, he's the one that's had the energy. Long three is going to be way off the mark. McLean there to corral it. Off to Quek in the open court. Nice job again, getting back. Dangerous pass there by Elliott. He stops and fires. He's fouled, and he'll go to the line for a pair. So already a foul on Mono Vampire.
Yeah, and Anthony McLean in limited minutes, through 13 minutes in the first half, he already has 12 rebounds, doing a great job rebounding the basketball on both the offensive and the defensive end.
Elliott, he has steadily improved. He had a little bit of a clunker his first game, but his numbers have gone up, and there was really no doubt in the Singapore Slinger camp due to his pedigree. I mean, MVP. What else you have to do? He was an MVP of the championships about 3 years ago, also import MVP, and he just gets better. He's like fine wine, 35 years of age, but you wouldn't know it. He keeps himself in fine shape, and one of the first guys to hit the floor in practice.
Yeah, and I think what you love about Marcus Elliott is that never-ending confidence in himself, that belief that things are going to turn around, and they did because of that consistent confidence that he shows.
Off the dribble. Getting around Elliott, nice separation there. Off the mark, though, right into the path of McLean again. Getting the ball quick in the hands of Alexander. He's got Go on his right side, and Go can't handle it, but out of bounds. It goes off the hand of Lish. So opportunity going by the wayside. I think Delvin Go wasn't looking for that.
Yeah, and Chuck, you said at the beginning of the game that 5-point bulge has been the biggest for either team, and there hasn't been anyone who's been able to get separate to 7, 9, 11, and we'll see if that can start to happen right here for the Singapore Slingers.
Of course, Mono Vampire can score in a hurry and in bunches. Ooh, boy, almost walked with it, but he didn't. Nice job by McLean. About 3 players draped over the top of him. He keeps his wits about him, puts it in.
Yeah, very well set, Chuck.
There's that 7-point spread. Morrison back in the game. Remember, he's got 2 fouls. Lish, nice block there by McLean. Going another route, blocked again. Morrison, still Morrison. Back up jumper, no good. Wow, McLean and Morrison going mano-mano there, Scotty, on that possession.
Anthony McLean, disciplined defense, staying down, walling up, contesting every shot.
Alexander high up into the air, skying and getting the rebound, however, is Morrison. Or check that, Knowles. And there's the finish there.
Now, Michael Singletary again, using his strength, using that dynamic ability to get his width and tee up his defender and finish at the rim. And Michael Singletary is a special, special basketball player.
He can play anywhere on the floor. Go. Back screen there by Quek. Downstairs it goes, off the mark and towing the line. Nice job, but right into the hands of Quek. Quek. Go. Elliott wide open from Threesville. Can't knock it down. Gets his own rebound. Nobody around him. Says, why not do it again? Off the mark one more time, and back the other way comes Singletary. Singletary now to the left hand. Elliott, a little bit of a mismatch there height-wise. Finding some separation there, getting the ball in the hands of Knowles. Knowles on that right side, that's where the overload is. Turning, firing, no good. Nice job, good pressure there by Alexander. McLean with another board. Elliott. McLean late to get there. Go trying to turn the corner, can't. Good defense by Knowles. That's a mismatch there and a foul. Reaching in that time, Preston Knowles, 6'1", going against 6'7", and you knew how that was going to end.
Yeah, Delvin Go's had quietly a really good game. 5 points, 4 rebounds, and what I really like about the Singapore Slingers is they go to that matchup. When they put a smaller local or a smaller import on Delvin Go, they really look to post him up and attack that mismatch, and it's been successful for them.
So McLean will inbound it. Interesting. Go, Alexander. Oh, nice job clearing a path, and the foul will go on who? That's going to be on Alexander. Offensive foul. I thought for a minute they were going to give it to Morrison, but they don't. So for Alexander, that's his first foul.
And I think, Chuck, they called it on Morrison there on the reach. Yeah, so Xavier went to the rim there, a little bit of reach, and got a lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2.
So that third foul on Morrison, if it is on him, and they haven't put it up there yet. Let's see.
I think second on Singletary on the reach.
Yeah. So Singletary with 2, Morrison with a pair. Coach Earlip. You look up Dower in the dictionary, it'll have a big picture of Coach Earlip there, I promise you. 1 of 2. So the lead stretched back up to 6. 12 points for Alexander. Lish. Knowles, nice job getting around. Jumps it off to Morrison. Looking for space, the ball on the floor, and McLean caused that turnover. Long outlet pass. High off the glass, no good, but the follow!
And what a rim run from Delvin Go there, finishing on the putback.
And what happened on the other end? They're saying, wait, got to wave that off. I don't know what was going on. You can see the Singapore Slingers stopping in their tracks as if there was something. There was a stoppage or something. Earlip wanting to know what's going on.
I believe there's a timeout called, and there's a little bit of a mix-up between the desk and the referees, and they allowed the play to continue. So we're going to see if they can sort this out quickly. And Coach Earlip is very, very upset because they lost the transition bucket there.
Yeah, it came from the scoring table. It could be a mistake, but either way, you can't count that basket because all the action stopped. So 38-30, it remains. 8-point bulge for Singapore, their biggest lead of the game, and it should be mono vampire ball on the far side, but we'll wait and get an indication of how that finished. Otherwise, it's 38-32 if they decide to count that basket, but all the action had stopped, and there was an indication on the sideline. We'll watch the action here. Well, there's the play before that. Okay, so here we go. And then you can see the referees holding their hands above their head as if there should have been a stoppage there. So I think that's the way it'll go. And again, consultation between the 3 referees. Earlip coming over yet again, barking at the scorer's table, drawing the ire of the Singapore Slingers fans.
Yeah, and Coach Earlip is very passionate right now and very upset about that last call. And this is kind of what happens with the Singapore Slingers and their defense. They start to frustrate teams because teams like Mono Vampire are used to putting up buckets and used to scoring 91+ points a game. And when it becomes this physical and there's that much contact on every single basketball player, it's tough for the refs to call everything. It starts to frustrate the other team, and you can see that Mono Vampire is 30 points right now, 6 minutes into the third quarter. They're extremely frustrated.
Yeah. Well, you come in with a plan, and your plan is not able to occur for one reason or another. And more than often, if you're talking about the Slingers, it's because of their stubborn defensive pressure that they put against you. And, you know, as we said before, Mono Vampire, the second best defense in the league. I mean, it's not as if Singapore is torching the nets or anything. It's an 8-point game, and Singapore has only got 38 points. So anybody's game, and this is a very dangerous Mono Vampire team. If you lift your head up and you take your foot off the gas just for a New York minute, Scotty, they'll be right down your throat. 8 points to them is nothing.
Oh, yeah, nothing at all. And with the scorers like Singletary, Lamb, Knowles, Morrison, Frederick Lish, Moses Morgan, Adante, it is a tremendously talented basketball team, and they can put together runs of 5, 10, 15 points very easily.
So just waiting to look like the Singapore Slinger players are just as much in the dark as the Thai players. So it's all about the coaching staffs and the officials now. The players sort of just innocent bystanders. Coach Earlip. He's got to patent that look.
And you talk about Mike Singletary, and what I've seen right now so far is the dialogue that he has going on with his teammates is all positive right now. Let's go, boys. Let's get this. Let's rally from this. Let's show some grit. Let's show some perseverance. And you can only imagine, this is a guy who looked to play for a coach like Bobby Knight. He wanted that accountability. He wanted to improve at Texas Tech. He wanted to be pushed. And someone like that is a tremendous leader. So an 8-point lead is absolutely nothing for the Mono Vampire, especially when they have a leader like Michael Singletary who's going to push them forward.
Well, they're a very determined team. Remember, they're coming off a very, very tough loss by only 1 point in their last game, 98-97. So they've got a little bit of chip on their shoulder as well. And Singapore probably has still a chip on their shoulder after that rough 1-4 start. They want to make sure, and they want to prove to their fans and themselves going into the Chinese New Year break that, hey, we're in contention, we're the defending finalists, and you know, we're going to continue to play Slingers brand of basketball, and they've proven that in spades the last 2 or 3 games, Scotty, with their defense. I mean, it's just incredible the way that they have focused themselves from the 4th quarter of the last game, or actually midway through the 3rd quarter in the last game against the Macau Black Bears until now. They have just been an awesome defensive team to watch.
It's unbelievable. You mean the highest scoring team last week that came in here was Alab, and they shot 25% and 22 from the 3. Now you look right here, and it's 24% for Mono Vampire and 16 from the 3, including 40 from the line. And so this is just consistent defensive pressure and attention, oriented attention on the fundamentals and what they're supposed to do. Every single Slinger knows their role and responsibility, and they, like you said before, they execute it as a group, not as individuals.
Yeah, they switch on and off. It's a healthy man-to-man defense, and sometimes they'll slide off into a zone. And even there, you have the help on the weak side. You hardly ever see a situation where there's not weak side help coming over if a opposing player gets a step on the other man. It's the other man's responsibility to rotate over and then that man to fill in to take his place. It takes a very, very intelligent team to do that, and it takes a very fit team to do that.
Yeah, and to see Anthony McLean, what he's done from a defensive perspective today, he's already got 12 rebounds, but that ability to stop Mike Morrison, to frustrate Mike Morrison has led to this 8-point lead.
Now, Coach Erlip has to be very, very careful here. The referee's understandably very, very, very patient. And I think what Erlip is calling for is he wants the basket to count at the very least.
Yeah, and they're not going to give it to him, and he's very animated right now and frustrated, and you can understand it. He saw his team going in transition for a possible dunk and for Mike Singletary, and it was called off, and so you can see why he wanted it to progress and why he wanted to push forward. Yeah,
and you know, baskets coming at a premium, as we said. Now remember, you know, we're 3 minutes and 24 seconds deep into the 3rd quarter, Scotty, and Mono Vampire scored a total of 4 points. So, you know, the same theme that we had going in the 1st quarter really hasn't changed that much for Mono Vampire at all. So that's where the frustration is coming from. They just cannot get their nose ahead. They just cannot do the things that they're used to doing, especially in the open court. Now, what do we got here?
They called a timeout. So yeah, Coach Andre Erlip is going to call the timeout that he believed he called before, and so now we're going to have another little stoppage of play here with 6:36 left in the 3rd.
So interesting stuff here. A very nice-looking crowd here at the OCBC Arena. Are some open seats, but on the other side, they're pretty much all full, or 90% full. So capacity of about 4,000 here. I'd say we're, you know, right around the 3,000 mark, somewhere around there, as Singapore continues to arouse the interest of the citizens here for the Slingers, and they continue to come out and watch their Slingers do battle. Remember, this Singapore Slingers is a team that's made the finals in the last 3 or 4 years, and they've been to the playoffs for 5 years in a row, so they're used to winning, and they've done it with this singular philosophy of defense first, and then the buckets will come, and it's worked for them like a charm the last 5 years. They're hoping, despite that 1-4 start, that they can get on an even keel going the Chinese New Year and finish up the first 8 games at 4-4. On the other side of the ball, Mono Vampire, as we've said time and time again, this is probably the most talented team they've had in a few years, if ever, due to the quality and the pedigree of the players that they put on the floor. And it shows in the standings. They are 7-3, but having a tough time tonight dealing with the Singapore Slingers and their unified cadence of defense, and the crowd who are supporting their every move. So, long way to go.
Yeah, and I wonder if 28-year-old Tyler Lamb, the 6'5", former ABL Heritage Import MVP, is hurt here, because you haven't seen a lot of him so far in the 2nd half.
Lish now downstairs, go a little bit late coming. Back up a little bit too short there for Moses Morgan. Back come Alexander and company. Delvin Go at the top there. Long 3 by Kwek is going to be off the mark, but right it back into the hands of Kwek, who loses it. Back we come. There's the give. The reverse, no good. Popped out again. Man, you've got to corral that. Off the mark. Through the trees comes Morgan. Popped up again. McLean fighting for it underneath. Morgan, the foul on McLean. 2 or 3 opportunities Singapore had there, Scotty, to grab the ball instead of just knocking it around like a pinball. And finally paying the price for it. McLean with the foul. I believe that'll be 3 on him.
Yeah, and you're taught as a kid to grab the basketball with 2 hands at all times. Worst case scenario, it's a jump ball. Singapore bats it a couple times with 1 hand, and Morgan does a really good job to pursue that basketball and get it at its apex, and then contest the big Anthony McLean.
There you saw McLean instead of coming down, but there's the foul he was called with right there. He must have bodied up. It looked like he got all ball to me. So 2 shots now, and Singapore is going to have to make a decision on whether to keep him in the game, McLean, or not. I think they're going to take him out probably. So 38-32, the lead shrinks to 6 for Singapore. Numbers on Morgan, 5 and 1. So he stays in the game for the time being. McLean usually doesn't get into much foul trouble. Downstairs it goes to him immediately, so he's going to challenge Morrison. Looking up, nobody there. Desmond O through the trees, and he's fouled. He'll go to the line.
Great cut by Desmond O there. He saw his man double from the high. Desmond O goes straight to the rim in a very, very crafty little play to go through the arms to draw the foul there.
A lot of times Singapore has not been successful in completing these shots, but is always, as you said before, Scotty, they're going to the free throw line a lot.
Yeah, and that's, if you look at Mono Vampire right now, Singletary has 3, and Moses Morgan has 3, plus Morrison has 2, so a lot of, and Lamb 2 as well, so a lot of foul trouble in that end of the court right now.
They will have to negotiate themselves around this. A 10-year veteran, Desmond O, 1 of 2. Morrison with the ball, gives it off to Knowles, the 30-year-old. Shadowing him is Elliott. Up pops Lamb. Lamb off the dribble, spins. Show and go move there. Knowles, floater, no good. Another offensive rebound, and my goodness, Mono Vampire going to town on those offensive boards. Singletary with the finish there.
Yeah, and that's Mike Singletary just creating his own buckets.
Desmond, still Desmond. Alexander coming to get the ball, knocked out of bounds. Last touch, it'll be Singapore ball, I think. No, it will not be. It'll be Mono Vampire ball. They're going to say Alexander touched it last, so opportunity here for Mono Vampire.
And you have to respect Michael Singletary on the offensive end. He's not getting a ton of looks like right now with Alexander draped all over him, but he's creating it through offensive rebounds. And for him to be able to create another shot for himself is only going to help him get into that rhythm.
Lamb making use of the screen. Morrison has it knocked away. Up in the air it goes. Let's see what we have. The Singapore ball.
Anthony McLean again, like you said, the leader in blocks. If you're talking about who's winning the matchup in the middle right now between Morrison and McLean, it is obviously Anthony McLean. Again, the timing not to pump on the pump fake and to meet him at the apex, a fantastic contest by Anthony McLean. He's really showing to be such a great rim protector for this Singapore Slingers basketball team.
And Morrison exits the game right on your cue, Scotty. And we said, you know, if push comes to shove, at some point in the game, players are going to start getting worn down. We'll see if that's the place in the game right now. Underneath, Delvin, go, yes! Lurking on the baseline, great look by McLean.
Great look by McLean to pivot to the middle. Delvin Go sneaks in behind the back of the head of the weak side defender and gets the layup. Nice little high-low from the 2 bigs.
Knowles, bounce pass over the top. Oh boy, running over the defender there. Nice job by Alexander to change the shot. Slingers come away with it. Fans wanted a foul. Desmond O hit the deck. Still Alexander. McLean, Desmond. Go looking for cutters. McLean there. He has a mismatch. He's got to go straight to the hoop. He does. Can't finish it off though.
That's a good shot for the Singapore Slingers. No Morrison in the game, attacking the rim with their big Anthony McLean.
Oh, nice little give and go that time. Finishing up is Singletary. He's quietly starting to be a big factor in this game for Mono Vampires. We look at the score. 41-36 Slingers. Desmond in a little bit of trouble there. Alexander bails him out. 7 on the shot clock. Long 3 by Alexander. Yes! Front rim.
Xavier Alexander, they go under the ball screen again, and he makes them pay with the 3-pointer, bumping it up to an 8-point lead, the biggest lead of the game so far.
Ties their biggest lead. Alexander now starting to get off. 14 points. Knowles rotates the ball. Off the dribble, no good, but right there to clean it up, but knocked away again. Another block for Singapore. A 2 is going to be short. Reaching in to get the rebound as Alexander. Back comes Singapore. 4-on-4. Alexander, left hand, going to the basket. Good control in the air. Shot no good. Punched out. Back the other way, 3-on-1. Tyler Lamb with the finish.
What an acrobatic play by Tyler Lamb to look off McLean, to get him to bite on the pass fake, and then finish acrobatically in the air. Tremendous move from the UCLA alum.
Well, great job in the open court by Mono Vampire. You can see the 3-on-1. Downstairs to McLean. McLean, nice job gang tackling him. Jump step to the ball. Another offensive board and can't finish it off. McLean finally gets it. My goodness, how many missed layups have we had today? Delvin Go looking downstairs, holding on will be Tyler Lamb.
Yeah, and that's Mono's 5th foul, I believe, so they're going to be back at the line in bonus again every single quarter so far. Singapore has been in the bonus, and that's, again, them getting to the line and creating opportunities for them to score.
2:16 left, and I'm struck by the number of times and opportunities of both these teams. They have more Singapore, actually, than Mono Vampire. They've been all alone downstairs, and they just haven't been able to finish. Also, the offensive boards, the way they've gone the way of Mono Vampire. Singapore not grabbing the ball, as you said, Scotty, and just batting it around, and inevitably the ball falls into the hands of the guys in black and orange.
Yeah, and I think that lends itself to that physicality that's happened throughout the game, and now fatigue starts to set in, like you said. It's been a tough 2.5 first quarters, and guys are starting to get tired now. And when people get fatigued, not only their bodies get fatigued, but their minds get fatigued, and then those crucial little detail errors start to happen.
Alexander missed the first one. 1 of 2, the lead back up to 7. They've led by as many as 8, and Alexander with 16 and 3 rebounds. Knowles, Queck on him with those long arms. Here comes the screen. Around that, Knowles accelerates, stops, pops for 3, no good. Stepping in, and ball ricochets over to Elliott, who's been quiet lately. Elliott accelerates inside the lane, and a turnover.
Yeah, and you'd think right now is the time the Singapore Slingers would want to go into that run to try and extend it into double digits with Mike Morrison on the bench and with their import Anthony McLean playing. This is kind of the time that they want to drive their progression into that third quarter, into the fourth quarter, sorry.
A great point, Scotty, and that's, I think, what they're trying to do. Just get some separation. They've got 2 minutes to do it. Of course, Mono Vampire can score in a hurry. Stop and pop for 2 is going to be off the mark. Elliott rakes down the rebound. Back comes Singapore. Frenetic pace here in the third quarter, screened by Delvin Go. Still, Elliott has the separation he needs. Fires away from 2, no good. Ball popped away into the hands of Alexander. Goes up, tries to force it, won't go. Lead pass. No foul. Out of bounds it goes. It'll be Singapore ball. Great defense by Queck.
Leon Queck does a really good job of getting in front of Moses Morgan there, beating him to the rim, put the pressure on him. Morgan tried to make a decision before he caught the ball, and it's another turnover from Mono Vampire.
And these are the things you talked about, Scotty. Maybe a little bit of fatigue settling in both these teams. Pass down low, kick back outside. Queck accepts the screen. Bounce pass knocked away, but right in the hands of Queck. Elliott. Still Elliott. Turns the corner, uses the shoulder. Step up jumper by Queck for 2.
And Leon Queck was the difference in the game in Macau. A huge third quarter, 15 points total, and it's nice to see him to step up and hit that shot right there. He's such a huge part of this basketball team.
Under a minute to go. Lish looking for space. Behind the back pass. Get it out of here, and a foul. They're going to say McLean foul. That'll be 4 on him. And the crowd hates it.
Yeah, and that's a tough call right there, especially with all the physicality that's been happening on both ends. But from a perspective of basketball here, what a fun basketball player Freddie Lish is to watch. His ability to change direction and get the defender to raise their hips and get on their heels is just world class.
You can see I'm looking over there, and McLean I'm seeing with only 3 fouls, Scotty.
Yeah, I believe that's correct.
So only 3, so sigh of relief, at least from my end. I thought he had 4, but 3 fouls now, so McLean officially in foul trouble. And
yeah,
at the line, excuse me, number 65, Tarawat Chantaton.
He's had a really good game for Thailand. I really liked his activity, especially coming off that ball screen, going to the rim, and looking to score over top of guys. He really challenged Anthony McLean at the top there and was rewarded with 2 foul shots.
Lim checking into the game. Miss on the first one. They don't want McLean to pick up number 4 before the end of the quarter. There it is again, and well, he did get him with the body. There was contact. A lot of times fans don't realize that. They only look at the top part. Yep. They see the ball being rejected. They don't see the follow through with the body.
Very well said, Chuck. And look here, McLean goes out. All of a sudden, Morrison comes back in, and so Here comes that strategic element of managing your imports minutes and managing them against each other of when certain guys play.
So we'll see if Alexander takes matters into his own hand. 38.2. Elliott, hesitation, move inside. Ooh, almost coughs up, gets it blocked, and then fortuitously going into the hands of Go, but it's off the mark. Singletary spies his man on the other side of the court, no good. Queck pulls down the rebound. Singapore can play for the last shot. Gives it off to Alexander, nice little sequence for Singapore. Alexander accelerating. Alexander loses the ball on the floor, picked up by Mono. Here they come back. Lead pass to the basket, no good. Foul on Queck. They'll have to earn it at the line. Nice job by Mono.
Yeah,
5.2 to go.
I'm very surprised Singapore didn't hold for last shot there. Xavier attacks a little bit early there, and all of a sudden it's a turnover, and now Mono has a chance to score at the other end with 2 foul shots from Mike Singletary.
Lost the ball on the floor. Uncharacteristic mistake by Xavier Alexander. I was thinking along the same lines as you, Scotty. I thought that they would hold on to it, play for that last shot, maybe get the lead up to double figures, that psychological breaking point where you go in the fourth quarter, you're down by 10 or 11 points. Very, very difficult to come back, especially in a game like this, you know, in the NBA or somewhere where 12 points is nothing. Not so much in the ABL, or at least this game when everything is about defense. So.
Yeah. Also that momentum piece going into the fourth quarter. Who scores the last basket? Who's successful last? It means a lot. And this game could be a 6-point game now moving into the third quarter, which is a very winnable basketball game for both teams.
Yeah, so 47-41. Singapore, 5 seconds. They want to get their ball in the hands of Elliott. Elliott has it stripped away. At the buzzer, no good. So Singapore will have to be satisfied with the 47-41 lead. They stretch the lead to 4, 47-41. 10 minutes to go here at the OCBC Arena. We'll be right back. Don't go away. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 47-41 in favor of the Singapore Slingers here at the OCBC Arena. The hometown guys trying to even up their record of 4-4. Mono Vampire, their gaudy 7-3 record up for grabs here. They do lead the league. And Scotty, I know you have the stats for the third quarter. Anything jumping out at you? I'll give you a couple seconds. Sorry to jump on you immediately.
No, perfect. And again, it's that shooting percentage. 15-67 for 22% for Mono Vampire, 14% from the 3. They've improved in the fast break. Now they're winning at 15-11. So you can see they're starting to pick up that pace. They're trying to get more possessions in this basketball game.
Lish starts. You've got Lamb camped out on that right-hand side. Morrison and McLean, and right off the bat, Morrison goes glass, got the separation. Both these guys are going to be very, very hesitant to pick up that foul, so that's a matchup worth zeroing in on. McLean at the high post now. Circling underneath is Elliott. Queck. Delvin Go with 9 left on the shot clock. Elliott catches and fires for 3, no good. Right into the path of Singletary. Long outlet pass, back out it goes. Long 3, hoisted up, is good.
And here comes Mono Vampire. Moses Morgan stepping into a transition secondary break 3, and this is the danger of playing against Mono Vampires. They can turn it on offensively whenever they they like.
So 1 point separation now. That didn't take long at all. Looking inside is McLean. Still McLean turns and fires. Yes, with the left hand.
Anthony McLean, nice little drop step, coming back to his non-dominant hand and the touch over the top.
Let's see if they stay outside. Little stop and pop from the free throw line is off the mark. McLean snares it back into the hands of Alexander. Here comes Singapore. Go on that right-hand side. Downstairs on the left is Elliott. Queck. McLean fighting it out with Morrison downstairs. Delvin Go, nice little spin move, off balance shot. Trying to get his own rebound, cannot. And again, another 50-50 ball goes the way of Mono Vampire. Getting around one man, Euro step to the basket is good. So again, a 1 point game. Again, Singletary.
Mike Singletary, 18 points, 13 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 steals, and he has put together a complete basketball game today.
Already, we've got a whole quarter to go. Queck dives around one opponent. Shot, got the roll. Leon Queck.
Leon Queck, nice little job to pinch back on that ball screen, and really nice touch on the float over top of Morrison.
So, up to a 3 point lead now. 7:45 to go. Here comes the screen by Morrison. Beating McLean to the spot. Wow, good follow there by Morrison.
Yeah, and you can see Mike Morrison has really picked it up. 1 of 9 through the first 3 quarters. 2 back-to-back baskets right here for now, 6 points and 10 rebounds.
So all of a sudden, Mono Vampire coming as advertised here in the fourth quarter. 7:25 to go. There's that separation off the mark. Delvin Go right there to clean it up. And there's a late call by the officials, but it'll count. That'll send Go to the line for a pair.
Again, Delvin Go with a great basketball game. 4 of 6 from the field now, 9 points, 6 rebounds. And again, just himself creating another potential basket opportunity by pursuing that offensive rebounding and attacking the rim.
Tyler Lamb now with 4 fouls. See where we can find the foul here. Go going up. Was that Singletary or? Can't hit that one.
And again,
1 point game.
Yeah, Chuck, Singapore's ability to get to the foul line really helps them in these tight games. They're 15-25 now from the free throw line, where Mono Vampire's only 9 of 15, where they've only shot 15, only had 15 attempts, and it's a big difference in a 1, 2, 3 point game.
Yeah. Singapore traditionally in this game, the first 3 quarters have gone the line very, very early as Mono Vampire denying any sort of penetration, elects to foul. Lish. Off to Singletary. There's the screen. Whoa, long 3 by Singletary.
Michael Singletary is taking over this fourth quarter right now. 21 points on 7 of 17 from the floor.
That was from way downtown. Alexander. Delvin Go popping down there, making himself available. Alexander trying to force thing. The ball on the floor picked up by Delvin Go. Go throws the ball away immediately. Elliott, nice job. See if they can stop the basket, but a foul.
Yeah, sorry, go check.
No, go ahead. I'm just saying Singapore a little bit sloppy on the offensive end the last couple of trips down the court.
Yeah, and defensively they're really walling up on X, sending 2 or 3 defenders to help on him when he tries to attack the rim. And on the other end, Michael Singletary has really come to play in this fourth quarter, and he has the whole game, and it's just what a well-rounded game he's had so far. 21 points, 14 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 steals, and it's these timely baskets right now here in the fourth that are really starting to make a difference.
So Moses Morgan at the line, misses the front end of 2. 6:36 to go, 1 point lead by Mono. Singapore is led by as many as 8. In and out it goes. So Singapore catch a break there. Back comes Elliott and company. Alexander on the right, McLean matriculating down to the bottom. Wow, not afraid to shoot, is he?
There's your 2017 ABL MVP right there. The big, she's used to big shots. Marcus Elliott pull up 3.
And a miss. Elliott, still Elliott. Kick back outside. Queck thought about it, stops, pops for 2, way off the mark. Ball on the floor. Delvin Go picking it up again. What a game he's having on the boards.
Unbelievable.
So 2 point lead for Singapore. Getting off to McLean, can't get it to fall. Surrounded and fouled. Number 4 on Morrison.
Yeah, that's a great drive by Xavier Alexander, dumped down to McLean, and that's a very makeable shot for Anthony McLean. He's got to finish that, especially in a 2-point game here with 5:52 left in the fourth. But misses it, perseveres, get his offensive rebound. He's going to go to the line for 2.
And puts Morrison in further foul trouble. Morrison now, I thought he already had 3. Now they're saying only 3, so only Tyler Lamb with 4.
And Anthony McLean's had a very, very good basketball game from the defensive perspective as well, pursuing into offensive here. 16 total rebounds, 5 block shots. He's done it on both ends. It's been a tremendous asset to Singapore's defense this year.
And Elliott quietly starting to put a good game from the perimeter on his ledger as well. What an opportune time to hit that 3 for him. So 5:52, Slingers back up by 4.
Yeah,
They surrender the lead just momentarily. Go ahead, Scotty.
Yeah, and that's that confidence piece that you say about Elliott again. He hasn't shot the ball tremendously well today, but he wants to take the big shot, and he's excited for success, and that's a key to the Singapore Slingers in the fourth quarter.
Singletary around the screen, rolling off of that. Blocked away by who else? McLean. In the open court is Alexander. Still Alexander. Dumps one defender. Great control in the air, followed by Delvin Go on the trail.
Delvin Go's offensive rebounding ability has made a difference in last game with the huge offensive rebound against Macau to put them up. And again, right here to extend that lead to 6 points on the transition. What can you say about Delvin Go so far, Chuck?
He's just done it all for Singapore. And again, a lot of times, you look at the gaudy stats in the scorebook, how many points did he score? That's not all about Delvin Go's game. He does score his points. He will get his points, but a lot of times, especially like here, watching this in transition, Elliott off to the races, and watch Delvin Go. Watch this timing of his. Right there, no box out at all. Delvin Go taking advantage of what the defense gets him, and that's been the story of this game this entire season. How great has he been on the boards today? He's a much better passer. He can even dribble the ball, just becoming a complete ball player, Scotty.
Yeah, and the 3 defenders run straight to Elliott on the break. Delvin goes straight by them to the front of the rim in a very athletic tip-in for the 6'7", I would say 215 pounds. He's up at the rim there for a beautiful tip-in. And again, that's a momentum-changing play here with 5:31 left to extend that lead again to 6 points.
Well, he's the forgotten man. If you look up and down the roster, a lot of guys, well, look at the imports. Almost any team that comes in here has the advantage as far as imports when it comes to Singapore. They've got more of them. But don't look now, but Delvin Go, the value to his team is just as much as any of the imports on the other teams. He proves this game in and game out. And again, he's done that today.
Unbelievable. 27 minutes, 5 of 7 from the field for 12 points, 7 rebounds, a couple assists, and that local contribution from Delvin Go does not go unnoticed.
So looking up at the fouls again, I'm looking up on the scoreboard, and I still see Singletary still with only 3 fouls. Is that right, Scotty?
Yeah.
So it's only Tyler Lamb who's in foul trouble. We'll see if they bring him back in. They haven't used him in the rotation in a while. They're going with Moses Morgan. Here's Knowles back into the game. Knowles whip out pass, long 3 if it goes. Does not. McLean there to corral another board.
Defensive rebounding from Anthony McLean today has just been tremendous. That's his 14th defensive rebound of the game.
Boy, knocked away that time, and Queck off-balance shot, so Queck is bailed out there by Xavier Alexander.
The anticipation of Freddie Lish is really fun to watch and to observe.
Queck not afraid to shoot, fires away, no good. Rises and getting the ball is Lesh. Quick pass outside. Singletary going downhill. He'll get it and he'll go the line.
Yeah, this is a battle right now between Xavier Alexander and Mike Singletary. And what a great competition between the two right now. Singletary, I believe, to the line for an and one in his opportunity, his 24th point of the game. And a great advancement by Freddie Lish there in the full court to advance that ball and allow Singletary to get downhill and attack that rim.
Yeah, where would they be without Singletary? He has put the team on his back, guys, midway through the third quarter up until now. And he is the reason why Mono just keeps hanging around, and here they are within 3 again. So nobody able to get that separation. Singapore led by as many as 8, Mono led by as many as 5. And here we are, pretty much the way we started, a 3-point game. Alexander, we approach the 4:30 mark. Left hand in the lane, got a little bit of separation. The fire, the follow, no good. 5 on 4 now. Alexander down at the other side. Moses Morgan with the finish, so 1-point game. Let's hope Alexander is okay. 59-58. Alexander reaching down, so 1-point game again. And just like that, Mono Vampire down by 6, and we saw how lethal they can be, Scotty, especially in the open court. 4 points, or 5 points, just like that.
Yeah, and not a good sign here for Xavier Alexander grabbing his ankles, but he seems to be walking it off. And like you said, Chuck, 1 defensive rebound there, 2 passes, 0 dribbles, and it's down to the other court for a Moses Morgan layup. Moses, or the Mono's ability to get out in that open court is very, very elite and very, very special. And so when they do that, it's super hard to get back in transition, and it turns into easy buckets for Mono, which creates confidence for them and changes a 6-point lead to a 1-point lead in about 90 seconds.
Yeah, you said it right, confidence, and that has been what has been on the wane for Mono Vampire in this game, but what a time to get it back deep into the 4th quarter, and this very, very hard as nails game that has been right from the very beginning. We sort of didn't know how this was going to play out with Mono Vampire and their high-octane offense going to come out here and run up and down and turn this game into a track meet, or would it go the way of Singapore, the way they wanted it to happen? And as it turned out, that's exactly the way it's happened. But the one thing you need to mention is Mono Vampire are very good on the defensive end as well, and here they are lurking around, 1-point difference, and Alexander still, I wouldn't say limping, but tough to tell with X. You know, he gives everything. He doesn't belie anything, but he's hardly, I think the 5 years he's here, he's never went on the IL.
Yeah, you talk about Iron Man. I don't believe he's missed a game in 5 years. So resiliency and workload, this guy's done it all.
Every game, every minute. Delvin Go looking for cutters. Finally, Elliott slides through. Alexander, oh boy, is knocked around by Lish, and there's another foul. That will go on Freddie Lish. 3rd team foul for Mono Vampire. Comes at the 4:05 moment.
Yeah, and you can tell right now on the defensive end for Mono Vampire, they're really getting the passing lanes and really denying the basketball, not only to Marcus Elliott right now, but also to Xavier Alexander. They're making the catch really tough. And so there could be some opportunities for backdoor cuts here for Singapore, and you can see Mono's just got a little bit more aggressive on the defensive end now.
Yeah, if they come up a little, they slide up just a little bit too far, that baseline may be open. We saw Elliott sometimes like to work there. Alexander, hesitation on the dribble, gets the ball off to McLean. McLean fires it up and misses. Away it goes, Lish. Wait for numbers. Gets the ball in the hands of Knowles. Knowles working against Delvin Go. Downstairs it goes to Singletary. Singletary working against Queck, or check that. Moses Malone, kick back outside again. Moses Morgan, Moses Malone, where did I get that? There, almost the strip. Turning and firing off the mark, right at the 24-second mark. Great defensive stand there by Singapore. Elliott coming back with the ball. Still Elliott. Lish working on him. Here's a screen by McLean, trying to work his way around that high screen. Going down is McLean in a heap. 8 on the shot clock. Good defensive stand here by Mono Vampire. Long 3 is going to be off the mark. Over the top of the standard as it goes. Great job by Mono Vampire on the defensive end, Scotty.
Yeah, you can tell on both ends right now, the officials are letting them play, and they're letting the players decide this basketball game. Very physical on both ends of the court, and Mono did an extremely good job there of chesting up, of being physical, of pushing Singapore off their spot, and in turn, they got a late contested 3-point shot just before the end of the shot clock.
So stops are at a premium right now. Every basket is at a premium. 3:09 to go. Singapore clinging to this 1-point thriller. Lish. Knowles fires up a long 3. Wow.
Big shot at big moment. Preston Knowles 2 of 9 from the field, and he hadn't done much so far this game. Only 4 points, and that's a huge 3-pointer from Preston Knowles.
Absolutely, gives you a sort of insight into the confidence of Knowles. Crashing through is Alexander. He hits the floor. See who they're going to call that on. Maybe Moses Morgan.
You have to admire Xavier Alexander. He knows he's going to get smashed going to the ball here. This is a typical 1990s NBA-style basketball game where anyone who goes in the paint is going to get hit. And you have to admire him. He knows he's going to get hit. He looks for that contact, and he looks to get to the foul line for his 11th and 12th attempts of the game.
Yeah, this to tie it up if he can make both. 2:41 to go here in the game. This is something that Alexander has really gotten better at. When he first came into the league, Scotty, around a 50-55% free throw shooter. He's up that to around 70. He's an average free throw shooter now. And
yeah, 11.
Doesn't sound like much, but it really counts in situations like this. In and out. So 1 point lead still for Mono Vampire. Numbers on Alexander. Knowles coming out to meet it is Lish. Knowles again takes the screen. Gets the ball over, no good, and going to the line will be Mike Morrison.
And that's a very good foul by Delvin Go there. Okay, Mike Morrison had a dunk or uncontested layup at the rim. He's 0-4 from the line today. Great contest and foul, not letting him get the basketball to the rim and making him make a pressure shot from the line.
Comes through on the first one, so ups the lead to 2.
And great shot by Mike Morrison answering the call.
Yep. Well, we thought this would be the, at the beginning of the game, this would be the crucial matchup, Morrison and McLean, as he hits 1 of 2. Alexander, 2:20 to go and counting for the Slingers. Screen downstairs, up comes Queck. Singletary, Alexander fires off a 2, no good. McLean corrals the rebound and a foul.
And again, another good foul by Mono Vampire. McLean won the inside position there. He had an uncontested layup, and Freddie Lish converged on Freddie Lish, Singletary, Knowles. They all had a swipe at him, making sure he didn't get that ball to the basketball rim. He's going to have to shoot some foul shots now that Mono's in bonus.
That's right, and he's not a great foul throw shooter, so he's the guy that you want on the line to protect that 2-point lead. So 2:07, things all of a sudden looking up, or a little bit better for Mono Vampire, but a long, long way to go. To bring us to within 1, or the Slingers to within 1. The timeouts left, 2 for Singapore, 1 for Mono Vampire, so that could be crucial down the stretch here. 2 of 2, so coming through. So time for a stop if you're a Slingers fan. Time to head to the hole if you're a Mono Vampire fan. They had done it from the perimeter the last couple times. Lish around the screen, heading to the basket, thinks better of it. McLean's there. Oh, a long 3 again. Wow, every time they've needed it, Scotty, they have gotten it. Freddie Lish, the ice water in his veins.
The guts on Freddie Lish to come off the ball screen, contest Anthony McLean at the rim, reverse dribble out and shoot a fadeaway 3-pointer from the baseline. It's just unbelievable, but it's what we expect from Freddie Lish now. He's an exciting basketball player to watch.
Yeah, in this quarter we have seen 3 players, actually 4 players, come up into that. Singletary hit 1. We saw a little bit later, Knowles hit a big one, right, when they were down by 2. Moses Morgan hit a big one, and now Freddie Lish. So get a sort of a sense why they are the scoring machine that they are. They can do it from anywhere on the court. We sort of, when we were talking about, we were extolling what they do on offense, it was, well, they're great in the open court, but my goodness, they've proved us that they can also shoot the ball from downtown or pretty much anywhere here in the 4th quarter, and all under heavy, heavy pressure, Scotty.
Yeah, no, there's a big contester from Leon Queck. He recovered off the ball screen, got his long arm in front, and Freddie Lish just rainbowed it over top of him, and it just speaks to, again, the quality and depth of this team. Like, Freddie Lish comes off the bench, doesn't play a ton of minutes in the first half. He's in for the majority of the second half, and this is a junior college All-American. This is a player who's played at the highest level in the States as well as internationally, and so it's a very tough basketball shot, and credit to Freddie Lish for knocking it down.
So look for Singapore. They a couple options here. They can try and get the ball in the hands of Marcus Elliott and do his magic from Threesville, or Xavier Alexander try and drive to the hoop, maybe get a 3-point opportunity. So lots of time left, 1:51, but advantage Mono Vampire at this point in the game. Chuck Schreiner along with Scotty McKinnon. So I hope you're enjoying this terrific game here as we wind our clock forward to the Chinese New Year. Gong Xi Fai Kai to all of our Chinese fans out there. Delvin Go, Alexander again. Alexander trying to turn the corner. Great defense on him. Ball up for grabs. Going to be picked up by Morrison. Opportunity here for Mono Vampire to do something special. Knowles will hold it up with 1:30 to go in the game. Singapore desperate, needing a stop now. There's the screen. Knowles back up. Freddie Lish for three! Off the mark, McLean. That could have been a disaster for Singapore. Alexander. Still Alexander. Elliott. Backing up now. Pops it back outside to Xavier. Xavier going to the basket. Is stripped. Back in the open court, and a good foul by Delvin Go, but that's going to cost him. Flagrant foul for Delvin Go. They'll get 2 shots and get the ball out of bounds. So big advantage for Mono Vampire here with 1:04 to go, Scotty.
Yeah, and 2 crucial possessions down the stretch. Xavier Alexander does what he does best, gets downhill, north-south to the rim. A lot of physicality, no calls from the ref, and transition the other end. Delvin Go had no choice but to grab Preston Knowles, or it would have been a layup at the other end.
Yeah, they were off to the races, so we'll take their chances. Hopefully that they'll miss at least 1 free throw shot and they can get a stop and still be in this game. Boy, barely rattles that one home. So 4-point lead. And this to make it a 5-point lead. And remember, Mono Vampire will also have the ball on the sidelines, and they do. So you can see the shoulders sagging just a little bit with the Singapore Slingers right now. As it will still be, will it be Singapore ball? No, it'll be Mono Vampire ball. They do, it is a flagrant. So have to have a stop right here, right now, Singapore. Around the screen. They're going to whistle Alexander.
Yeah, and that's going to send Mono Vampire back to the line. Michael Singletary back to the line for 2 as they're in the bonus.
Yeah. Well, 2 shots right here might just solve the game away. They lead by 5. That would be 7.
And if you're a Singapore Slingers fan, the game is in the 60s. This is what you had to do to make it competitive. And they were put on a defensive clinic against the best scoring team in the ABL. But if you look, this is the credit to Mono Vampire and their strength. Not only can they do it from the offensive end, they can do it from the defensive end. And they can grind out games on the road just like this. And you have to respect a competitor like that.
No, absolutely. Misses them both. Got to go quickly now. Trying to get separation, firing up a 3. 67-65. Marcus Elliott rattles one home.
Ice in his veins, Marcus Elliott.
A stop here. Quack. Back outside again. Lish. Still Lish. Over the top, can't get it to fall. Ball popped out, and again another loose ball controlled by Mono Vampire. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Stop on the free throw line. It's going to be off the mark. Another 50-50 ball is going to go the way of Mono Vampire. And how many times? 1 second on the shot clock. Actually, another 14 will be put on the shot clock. But
there's Michael Singletary doing the little things, the pursuit of the basketball to put pressure on the defensive rebounds there. Singapore tips the ball out of bounds. 22 seconds left now on the clock, down 2.
In it goes. They'll dare Singapore to foul. Remember, off the dribble, still off the dribble. Rises, fires in the open court. 8 seconds to go. Alexander with the ball. Gets the ball off to Elliott. McLean, still McLean. Off it goes, up and in! Oh my goodness! Let's see if they count it. I don't think they will. Let's see. Let's see. Are we going to overtime? No indication yet by the referees. Excruciatingly close. Scotty, I don't know.
Oh, that's going to be tough. From my angle, it looked like it was a little bit late. I believe they're going to have a look at it right now. They're going to do a little bit of video replay here, which is a really good thing because they're going to get this call correct. But from my vantage point, it looked like it was just after the red light had come on the backboard.
Wow, what a finish. Here we go again. Now there's Elliott losing it, but McLean right there. Johnny on the spot. Unlucky there. Alexander finishes it. It looks like the light was on before it came out of his hands. We'd have to see the slow-mo of that.
Very, very tough call. That was bang, bang. It's going to be very interesting to see what the officials say here because I believe this could probably go either way, but unlucky that the first shot by Anthony McLean did not go in.
Yeah, it swirled around and you thought it was just a little bit too hard. You can see Moses Morgan right there.
And Morgan looks pretty confident right now. He's communicating that to his bench that this might be Mono's victory, but it's going to be very interesting. The refs are telling Mono to take a seat.
Yeah. Here come the referees out on the court right now. And they're going to say too late. So Mono Vampires will escape with the 67-65 victory. That will do it. So very, very tough loss for the Singapore Slingers, and a win by the skin of their teeth for the Mono Vampires, but clearly the video reference made it clear enough to the officials that Alexander did not get it up, release the shot before the red light went on. Very unlucky for McLean. That shot just a little bit too hard off his hand and swirled in and out. And that's the way the cookie crumbles, I'm afraid, if you're a Singapore Slinger fan. However, the good news is they played it right down to the wire with the best team in the league, who are very, very fortunate to escape here. But on the other hand, Scotty, they hit the big shots when they had to.
What an exciting basketball game, Chuck. And you have to credit Mono Vampire. Singapore did everything in their power from a defensive perspective to keep the highest scoring team in the league into the 60s. And then for Mono to be able to grind out this game on the victory on the road, what a tremendous effort by that basketball team.
Yeah, the three-pointers that happened towards the last minute or two of the game were crucial for the Mono Vampire. The one that Freddie Lish hit was a crucial one. That was the one that, with his back to the action, turned and fired. And as you said, a rainbow going up and going in. Moses Morgan hit another big one also as well, just when it looked like Singapore was going to get some separation. So getting it done from the perimeter in crunch time, Mono Vampire, and it was just enough to hold on and thwart Singapore and send them to probably their most disappointing loss of this young season, and they will fall to 3-5. But I guess if there's any solace in this, Scotty, they held the best team in the league, at least standings-wise, to 67 points. But it's not much of a solace when you only score 65. So a defensive battle. It wasn't like we thought it might be, where both these teams would come out and feel comfortable in the open court. That never happened. But Mono Vampire doing just enough, and they win the day, and they will be out here with an 8-3 record.
Yeah, and we talk all the time about the character and the perseverance that Singapore shows, and this was a character win by Mono Vampire today. Shots weren't falling, 27% from the field, 24 from 87, 6 of 21 from 3 for 28%. But just their ability to get out in transition in the fourth quarter there, to 25 fast break points to the 13 of the Singapore Slingers, and they grinded this physical game out and won it in the 60s on the road, and that speaks to the character of their nature, and I believe that's led by Michael Singletary.
Yeah, they had to come up with an innovative way to win this game, Scotty. It's not like they're not really known as the three-point shooting team. I mean, I know they shoot 33, 34, 35% from the arc, but my goodness, they hit 3 or 4 in a row in the most crucial period of the game, and you can't ask for anything more than that. You take just one of those away, and they don't win the game. So, getting it done when they had to, as we look at some of the earlier action, that was a limb, but what a game, the most exciting game bar none that we've had so far this season. It's just unfortunate that it didn't go the Singapore Slingers' way. If you're a Mono Vampire fan, you're going to be ecstatic. Again, you go into the Chinese New Year with that gaudy 8-3 record, and it should be enough to put them at the top of the standings.
Yeah, and Mono Vampire going forward here, this is a win that's going to set them apart. They've had a tough time on the road so far, only going 2-3, and for this to win in this kind of atmosphere with this kind of shooting, you have to credit them, and I believe you have to credit the character of their leader, Michael Singletary, who had 24 points and 16 rebounds and turned this into a victory for his team.
Yeah, final stats, you look at rebounds, even up 60-60. I'd like to see the offensive rebounds. I would think that Mono Vampire came up on top there, never mind. The assists, very close. Field goal percentage, very close. 3 points, 4 of 13, 6 of 21. Again, 4 of those 6 coming in the fourth quarter when they need them the most. The blocks, of course, you'd expect that with Anthony McLean to go there where he steals, 4 and 8. Of course, Mono Vampire leading the league in steals. Turnovers, 12 and 7. Mono Vampire doing a little bit better job of taking care of the ball this time. Second chance point, 15-10, marginally in favor of Mono Vampire. Bench points, big for Mono Vampire, 21-6. We would expect that. Points from turnovers, really nothing to write home about. But at the end of the day, 67-65, you can't get any closer than that. Heartache for Singapore. They did their best, but they can keep their heads up. You know, the guys pretty much put it all on the line there, and they pretty much are exhausted now. We look at the next 5 games, Saigon and OCBC Arena. That will be on the 29th, followed by Hong Kong. Back on the road they go to become road warriors. Again to San Miguel. They'll be looking out for revenge there. Will San Miguel Fubon Braves at the OCBC. And first meeting with KL, that will be on February the 14th, Valentine's Day. That's for the Singapore Slingers. So, for everybody else here at the production, again, the final score 67-65 in favor of the Mono Vampire. Hard-fought, nail-biting victory over the Singapore Slingers. For Chuck Schreiner and Scotty McKinnon, we'll see you on the 29th at the OCBC Arena. Saigon Heat are going to be in time. So long for now. Here with Xavier Alexander, the Singapore Slingers, and I know this is at least last place you want to be right now, Xavier. A tough game, 67-65, a defensive struggle. You know, they hit the big threes down the stretch when they had to have them, and what can you say? It's one of these games where neither team really deserved to lose.
Man, I give credit to my team. You know, this is a high-powered offensive team, and to hold them to 67 points is pretty good for us. And, you know, we missed a lot of chip shots around the rim, you know, and that kind of cost us the game. But definitely still proud of my team, and look to go to this 10-day break, you know, continue to focus on getting better, continue to focus on defense, and look forward to playing better and getting on a roll in the second half of the season.
Yeah, the defense, no doubt about that. You guys are number 1 in the league for a reason, and it showed today. You made the fans very, very proud. A bucket here, as you say, a couple of chip shots here and there. Could have been a very different story. You know, a shot by Lish, the rainbow, when he wasn't even looking. I mean, sometimes you hate to see games in on a note like that, but yeah, all due credit to them as well. They came to play. They came in a hostile environment. They come out with the loss. But you know, this is the sort of game that, in some ways, Xavier, you know, you lose it, but on the other end, as you said, holding the high-flying team like that averages 91 points a game to 67. If there's such a thing as a moral victory, that has to be one.
I don't believe in moral victories, but like I said, man, our team played good defense today. I felt like good enough to win. I felt like we gave up too many offensive rebounds and turning the ball over, which, like I said, even the games we win, that starts with me and my leadership. So, like I said, we'll look to go to this 10-day break and, you know, rest our bodies and refresh our minds and try to get on a run come the second quarter of the season.
You guys certainly deserve it. You started this season late. I know the SEA Games interfere with your preparation. You're just now getting to the point where you're playing coherent basketball. It's just a shame that we just came a couple points too short. So, you know, rest up your body, Xavier, and we'll see you after Chinese New Year.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Happy Chinese New Year.
5 seconds outside. Egg season opening. Oh! Lee Shui-Lin, money on the 3.
So turns, fires. Delvin go right there. Another block by Delvin.
Wide open is Regulus. Back-to-back triples for Mono Vampire.
Only 7 remaining. He makes his move. Young forces it up and in!
CC hasn't made a shot before that.
Pretty good so far here in the first half.
Lai, everyone for the Black Bears finding the bottom of the net.
Leaky with a big steal. Leaky for 3. That goes in. What a play.
This broadcast of the ASEAN Basketball League may not be reused in any way, shape, or form without an express written consent of the ABL.